And we should be live. I always get the timing weird on these, but see, looks like. All right, we're live. welcome. Seattle Kraken taking on the Calgary Flames. We're getting ready. Game time at 6 p.m. Local time, so 12 minutes away from the Kraken in Calgary taking on the Flames for the last time of the season. So far, 0-3 against the Flames, but guess that's not terribly unexpected considering the Flames are at the top of the division and the Kraken are not. But obviously, the exciting part about this game is Matty Beniers, the second overall pick in last year's draft, is making his Kraken debut in this one. Just signed his ELC a few days ago, and on the ice, skating around, he's going to be on a line with Jordan Eberle and Ryan Donato, who he's actually played with some before, or at least trained with before. So, yeah, should be exciting. Good time. Getting ready for it. Quick reminder as well, if you haven't already seen it, that this was supposed to be the first game of a back-to-back. There was supposed to be Flames tonight and then tomorrow in Winnipeg to take on the Jets. That game against the Jets in Winnipeg has been pushed back to May 1st due to snow in middle of April, which it's Winnipeg, so it's not like it's totally out of nowhere. But yeah, weather pushing that game back to May 1st, so no game tomorrow. Got just this game this week, and then it'll be back home to take on the Devils at the end of the week on Saturday, and that'll be Beniers' first home game. So, yeah, getting excited for this one for sure. A lot of obviously all eyes on number 10. Beniers out there wearing Ron Francis's old number. They're talking. So we got Root Sports going on right now. I finally caved and got the Fubo TV. I wanted to watch Mariners, which ever since I made the R&R saying the Mariners were 2-0, they have lost their last 3 games. But what are you gonna do? Kraken coming off of 1 loss to the Flames, having just played the Flames, of course, a couple days ago. Going to the last home game of the season. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. Should be a fun one. I wonder if they'll do anything. I mean, they'll do something special for the last home game, I'm sure, but I wonder what that'll be. Will Beniers score? I mean, we'd like to hope so, right? We'd like to hope that Beniers scores. Realistically, probably not, just because the Kraken probably won't score a ton against the Flames. But hey, why not, right? There's no scouting report on him, so he's got that going for him. He's a complete unknown at the NHL level. But, of course, this is not only his first game with the team, it's his first game in the league in general. Having, the highest level he's played at is the NCAA, but... One second here. Sorry, 1 second. Oh yeah, they're showing off Jacob Markstrom right now. Again, Markstrom's... I mean, this is part of the reason I don't know that we can really expect Beniers to score, is that Markstrom is one of the top 3 goaltenders in the NHL this year. Yeah, if it wasn't for Igor Shesterkin, he would have a pretty good chance at the Vezina. I mean, Shesterkin's not gonna. It's not gonna happen with Shesterkin having the season he is, but. Looks like Cal. Oh, good. So Cal. Sorry, there's some out there. Looks like Cal Yarncroke, ex Kraken. So this will be the first time the Kraken get to face one of their old teammates, or at least someone that played significant time with the team. Callie's on the ice and will play for the Flames tonight, so we'll get to see him. He's wearing 91, obviously, with Matthew Tkachuk wearing 19. So if you're looking for Callie, your boy, he'll be out there with the Flames number 91. So a couple fun things to watch there. What's up? Hope the Matty and the Kraken get the win tonight. Absolutely. Every game we watch, we hope the Kraken win. there is the I guess you could see it as like the silver lining upside that if the Kraken do lose, it only helps their chances at the first overall pick. But we still in the moment at least want them to win. It's still a lotto system. Unless they really win a ton of games here throughout the rest of the season, they probably are still a top three pick. So, or top three chances at that first pick. What else we got here? Sorry, I was trying to communicate without communicating. Let's see. Hope the Kraken beat the snot out of the Flames. That'd be awesome. Get a little revenge for the rest of the season. And you know what? The Flames might be a good team, and Markstrom might be having a great season for them. But everyone has it. Everyone has a down game here and there. And like, let's be honest, the Flames don't really. The Flames can pretty much coast to the first place in the division. They're getting pretty close to just clinching it at this point. So a loss to the Kraken really wouldn't hurt them that much. They won't be pressing. Who knows? Beniers, on the other hand, he'll be out there trying, putting all he has into it. Into that debut, try to get a goal in there. Maybe even 3 goals. A hat trick. Get the second hat trick in Kraken history, because yes, we are still sitting on 1. The Winnipeg game, they're postponed. They're showing the schedule right now. So Flames tonight. Again, if you're just joining the chat and haven't already heard, tomorrow's game, the Wednesday night one that was supposed to be in Winnipeg, has been pushed back to May 1st due to snow. So the Kraken won't play for 3 days after this game. Of 3 days off and then play Saturday at home against the Devils. So we got the Devils coming up here. Thoughts on the Seahawks this year with no Russ? Yeah, it's gonna be a mess. Like they're not gonna be good. I know they're like trying to sell this whole like we're not rebuilding. It's just making the best of the situation. It does. I think Russ wanted out, which that does kind of taint his legacy in Seattle for sure. Like I mean, even outside of most people right now would be like screw Russ. Like long-term people will still look back on this as being the best era of Seahawks football, but him forcing his way out definitely hurts his legacy in Seattle, and the Seahawks are going to suck this year. I mean, it would be a miracle season if they even make the playoffs, even with the 7 teams from each conference going. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough year for the Seahawks. On the bright side, it's the first time in 10 years that they've gone into a season with no expectation, so at least all the wins will be more unexpected, and it'll be less like, I mean, over the last 10 years every Seahawks game has seemed like they're expected to win pretty much, or they should have a good, like it hurts when they lose just because of how good the team should be, but yeah, now that they suck, it's like every win's gonna seem like a gift basically, unless they play like the Jaguars or something. But the Seahawks are going to suck. That's my thoughts on that. Which, hey, maybe they get a high-end pick in next year's draft. They got some firsts back, so they actually do draft in the first round. Our parents addressed us. Some kids in Flames jerseys that had a Kraken sign on the glass that said our parents dressed us. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Guys, don't put too much pressure on Matty. Let him settle in. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, we're all excited about it, but it's, these next 10 games are not about him trying to turn the team around or anything like that. And really, like, he shouldn't be expected to be that kind of player that really starts to make a huge change on the franchise for the first couple of seasons that he's in the league. He may very well do it, but that's not something that very many players just jump right into. Usually it can take a little bit, right? It's not everyone's going to be McDavid, or, I mean, even Matthews really took I guess he would jump right in. He scored 4 goals in his first game, but like, they're not all going to be McDavids or Matthews, or more recently, they're not all going to be Kirill Kaprizov. But it'll be fun to see what he's got. He's definitely got a skill set that, if he can translate it to the NHL, will make him the best player on the team as soon as 2024. I mean, again, could even be next year. But yeah, as for right now, as for these last 10 games, it's going to be his first however many games in the NHL, much less with a brand new team, none of which he's ever played with before, except for, it sounds like maybe Donato he's done some training with, so he has a little familiarity there. Which might be part of the reason they picked up Donato in free agency. It's hard to say, but they knew there was familiarity there, so maybe that played into why they picked up Donato. Obviously, that's worked out because Donato's been one of the biggest pleasant surprises of the season. Maybe not defensively, but offensively for sure. But yeah, if Beniers struggles to score here in these first few games, even if he looks like a little lost out on the ice, you know what? He's 19 years old and playing in the NHL for the first time after having just spent a season in college. So I think you could understand why he has every reason to be a bit out of his depth here, even if it's a sport that he's played forever. Even if he was going to a whole new different, even if he was just going to a different college team, it would take some adjusting to, much less going to a new team that's also at the highest level of the sport. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some 10 Barrel Brewing Hazy IPA. What's it called? Profuse Juice. 10 Barrel Brewing. It's again Hazy IPA. So a little beer going on right now. Chris is in net. We have a chance. I mean, Grubauer played well the last two games. I mean, obviously, so shutout. Obviously, he played well in that game. And then the last game against the Flames, he only let in 3 goals, and 2 of them were on the defense, not really on him. So, or I should say more on the defense. Obviously, it's not all one or the other necessarily, but it was 2 of those 3 goals were mostly on the defense. So, and the third one was, I guess, was the third one? Third one was basically a power play goal, or it was a power play goal. So, both of the 2 goaltenders have had good performances in their last 2 or 3 games. Unfortunately, it took until the last 15 games of the season to start seeing consistent goaltending. Obviously, they've both had good games here and there throughout the season, but this is, assuming it continues to the end of the season, the first time we've really seen consistent goaltending from both of them. Hydrogen monoxide. Dihydrogen monoxide. I do have some of that as well. It's not what I'm drinking at the moment, though. I got some of that. I got this, like, the old Kraken rum barrel, or Kraken rum jug that I drink water out of. Have to fill it up way less. And it says Kraken on it, so you can't go wrong there. That's my, so extremely fancy water bottle. Do you think the Mariners are going to go to the playoffs? I'm going to say, it's hard to say after 21 years of missing the playoffs and a lot of the hopes being pinned on young guys that they're absolutely going to the playoffs, but I'm feeling hopeful. I think they have a very good shot at going, especially considering there's one more wild card added to the playoffs this year in baseball. So it's, what would that be? 7 teams, or no? 6 teams from each of the American and National League. 6 teams from each league that make the playoffs this year, rather than the 5 that has been the last few years. And then, I mean, the last time the Mariners made the playoff, there was only 1 wild card. Only 4 teams from each league made it. So 4 more teams across the entire MLB make the playoffs now, and the Mariners have a roster that can make it, especially with more teams. So yeah, I think they have a good chance. Obviously, these last 3 games have not been great. Their hitting really has not gotten off to a good start at all. Pitching has gotten off to a good start. So that's, other than the one game where they gave up like 10 runs. Marco Gonzalez did not have a good game in his first outing. But Mariners pitching, especially the starters, have done really, really well so far. So assuming that keeps up, the bats will eventually come around. And yeah, I think it'll be a good season for the Mariners. Hopeful at the very least. Obviously, there's, Mariners fans, we have all sorts of reasons to doubt that, There's always going to be that little bit of doubt in the back of the head, and like if it all goes downhill, then it's I don't think anybody will be like surprised if it just all falls apart. But yeah, hopeful at the very least. The good thing about Beniers' entry level contract was that we have 3 years of with him. Uh, yeah. So part of the reason that he's you know or any college guy that is going to be right to the NHL, any college player that goes right to the NHL, they will usually come right to the NHL after the college season ends because it basically burns if they play a game or a couple of games at the NHL level before the end of the season, then it burns the first year of that entry level contract. So there'll only be 2 years of 2 full seasons of Beniers on that entry level contract. But give it 2 years, and I think this team is going to be at least competing for a playoff spot for sure. And by the time that expires, and I mean, yeah, Seattle's going to keep Beniers around unless he just has a really hard time adjusting to the NHL and it takes him a couple of years to develop. Then who knows? But I would imagine even then they just sign him to a couple year small deal to let him continue developing. And yeah, I don't think Beniers is going anywhere for a while. But yeah, it'll only be only 2 full seasons that he'll play on the entry level deal that he just signed, because these next few games will burn off one of those years. Which it sounds like why then would the Kraken do that? It's business as usual across the NHL. That's just how things are done. If the player's up for it, then it's kind of like a courtesy sort of to a top end player. Again, if it's a guy that's doing that, it's somebody that is seen as a future of the organization. So you want to do right by them. And if they are up to going right from college to the NHL for a few games, then you're not going to find too many teams that stop that from happening. If it's a type of player that's looked at as going right to the NHL the next season, for example, which is kind of what Beniers would be, and the same with Owen Power, Kent Johnson, Beniers' teammates. All those guys and Cole Caulfield last year did the same thing. Signed right after college, came in, played the last few games of the season. Habs ended up making the playoffs, and then he was a huge part of their playoff run that got them to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, Kraken aren't going to the playoffs or anything, but yeah, that's just business as usual. So, let's see. What else do we got here? Hope does well. No pressure, Matty. Absolutely. Hope he does well. I'm interested to see how Matty adjusts to the NHL pace. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see. He's on a line with Donato and Eberle, so it's a line where the scorer on that line is probably Donato, to be honest. I mean, Beniers has plenty of scoring ability, but he's also, especially like if you watch him, especially in the college tournament, he's very good at being the setup guy as well, which Eberle is pretty strong at, and we know Donato is more of a finisher. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? They'll probably try Beniers out at a couple different places, I would imagine, or maybe they just stick him with the same line for the rest of the season and just use that, at least that amount of consistency to, not change up too many things. So they could go either way. They'll either try him in a bunch of different settings, or they'll just let him play the rest of the season with the same couple of guys. For Sean Penny stays healthy all year, you bet your ass I'm watching the Seahawks play. I mean, I'm still going to watch the Seahawks play, but I'm not going to expect them to win almost any of their games. If they win, great, but I'm not going to be expecting it. And hopefully Rashad Penny can continue what he did at the end of last season, because he finally showed the potential of the first-round draft pick that the Seahawks spent on him. Hopefully that continues. Yeah, we'll see. They're still a bit early in the season. Muddy, but I have hope. Yeah, it's 5 games into a 160. I'm assuming you're talking about the Mariners there. It's 5 games into a 162 game season, so it's obviously not the ideal start from a hitting perspective for the Mariners, but their pitching has gotten off to as good of a start as you could have hoped for outside of Marco Gonzalez, and yeah, the hitting will come around. Thanks for the content and hard work. Thank you very much. It's going to be a great couple of years before we get we get the cup. Let's see. This year will be great for the movie. There you go. Yeah, we'll get probably be at least a couple of seasons before the Kraken make it to the cup final and obviously eventually win it. But well, fingers crossed. Still a couple of teams still a couple of teams that have gone 50 plus years without winning a cup. One of them's right across the border in Vancouver. Sabres the same, have quite a while since they've never won a cup. And obviously the Leafs, it's been quite a while. They have a decent shot at it this year if they can get past being the Leafs. All right, we got game has started. They're starting out with the Lindgord line was out there. Oh, here's Beniers taking his first face off. Come on, buddy. Get him. I don't know who won that. I don't know who they'll credit that face-off to, but I think Beniers got the win on that face-off. Here we go. First touch, gets it up to Eberle. Beniers up to Eberle. Eberle to Dunn, drops it, turns it over to Gaudreau misses the crossing pass. Ooh. Yeah, Dunn set up that 2-on-1 for the Flames. That was not a great turnover. Here's Beniers again. He'll dump it in and go off for a change, it looks like. All right, got a couple of touches. I'm pretty sure he won that face-off. I don't know who they'll credit that to, but not a bad first shift. Nothing to... Oh, Drieger almost got caught out of the net. That was very, very close to being a quite unfortunate series of events. All right, let's settle it down, boys. Settle it down a little bit. Ron Francis is human. That's why he did it this way. I like that. Yeah, I mean, the Kraken, they tried to be competitive this year, just not... sure, that there's always going to be things they could have done better. I think they still built a team that could have been competitive. Just nothing ever went their way, pretty much. So I think the construction of the team is certainly better than their record, and even for the most part, the team has played better than their record all season. Did Soucy deflect that out? Oh, so Drieger went out to play it, but he can't play it outside of the trapezoid, and it just didn't get to Drieger in time, and yeah, he almost got caught out of the net there for an early Flames goal. I don't know if Soucy blocked that out in front or he just missed the net, but that was close. All right, here we go. Saying Borgen won the foot race over Lucic. Here we go. Drieger in net. Matty Beniers' first game. Calle Jarnkrok on the other side playing first ex-Kraken or ex-Kraken of significant playtime playing against Seattle. Of course, we would have seen Mason Appleton tomorrow, but that game has been pushed back until May 1st due to heavy snow in Winnipeg expected tomorrow. Which normally wouldn't be that big of an issue. Obviously, Winnipeg's prepared for snow, but it's Kraken traveling in on a back-to-back. That doesn't work out quite as easily. Kraken into the zone. Donskoy behind the net, and Flames will do the breakout. Still, is there even a shot on goal yet? I'm not even sure there's a shot on goal yet. I don't think there is. I think we're 3 minutes in without a shot on goal quite yet. So Beniers got his first shift if you've just joined us. I'm going to say he won the face-off. He won a face-off. It was not a clean win, but he won it. And then got a couple of touches. Nothing necessarily to write home about, but got a couple of touches, carried the puck into the offensive zone, and then went for a change. Oh, turnover. Oh, no, back turned over the other way. Offside. Looks like Beniers will probably get another face-off here, I would imagine. Here we go. Yep, there's Beniers. Let's get it. Oh, he got kicked out. All right, Beniers gets kicked out of the face-off circle for the first time. And Eberle loses the face-off, so we go. We got a whistle here. I don't know what's going on. But we'll have another Beniers face-off, I think. It's a new Drieger mask. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it. Center ice. Again, not a particularly clean face-off, but I think the Flames probably won that one. So we'll say it's a 1-for-1 on face-offs for Beniers so far. Here we go. Touch for Beniers. Good head pass for Donato. Beniers shoots! Oh, offset. Oh. Missed it wide. Got his first shot attempt, though. First NHL shot attempt. Got a little excited and put it wide, but he gave it a good bit of juice there. Zadorov gives Beniers a hit into the boards. He'll probably go off on a change now, I'd imagine. Here, McCann dumps it in. Larson's got it in the offensive zone down to McCann. McCann's battling two guys down behind the net. Flames finally get it. That should be icing. Yep. All right, well, Beniers gets his first shot attempt. Misses wide, but let's look at this. He set it up. He got a good pass to Donato. Donato dropped it back to Beniers, and yeah, he just put it a bit wide. Oh, a fair bit wide. Not like a 50-cent first pitch wide, but a couple feet wide. It's 2 shifts in though, and he doesn't look out of place. I'll say that much. He had a good lead pass for Donato there to start that breakout for the Kraken, and then finish it off with the shot attempt. So pretty good second shift there for Matty. Oh, chance in front. Oh, who was that? Susie just couldn't quite handle it. Kuhlman put it around to the other side to Susie, back and back. Kuhlman again. I haven't been looking for him, but I haven't seen. I'm sure he's played already, but I haven't seen Yarncroke out there. Ooh, Susie took a bit of a hit there. Not a great pass, and it's icing back down to the Kraken end. Just a bit outside. Yeah, that was pretty much that shot from Beniers. The guys are passing well tonight. Yeah, it was right up until then. All right, here's Yarncroke. He's one of Seattle's better face-off guys, so he's taking the face-off now against Seattle. Up against, who's that, Riley Sheahan? Sheahan won it. Cole Lind, or not Cole Lind, sorry, Cale Fleury. Cole Fleury. Yarncroke shot, saved, or blocked at least, and then a second Yarncroke shot is saved by Drieger. So there we go. I think those are the first shots on goal. I think one of them was blocked, so it may not have made it 2 goal, but Kelly Yarncroke with the first shot on goal, Drieger with the save. Oh yeah, Susie blocked the first one there. And Drieger made the save on Yarncroke. Yeah, good play there by Yarncroke. Drieger was able to make the save. And Yarncroke kicked out of the face-off circle, so it'll be Lucic coming in to take over for him. It does feel weird to talk about Yarncroke as a Flame, even though he's been there for month and a half now. Only played 8 games for them. He had some... I can't remember if it was an injury, but he had a couple, like... Got sick a couple of times, I think, or at least once. That's why he didn't play in Seattle, as he was still out with an illness. And that'll be another icing. Alright, back down to the Flames end of another icing. So Yarncroke's staying out on the ice. Let's see if we get Beniers again. Is this Yarncroke versus Beniers? Nope, Yarncroke versus Wemberg. So Wemberg line's out there. And Wemberg gets kicked out, so McCannon against Yarncroke. And McCann wins it. Yarncroke, not a great face-off start against his old team. But he did have a pretty good play that got a couple shot attempts. There we go. Larson got a shot on goal. Up close. Markstrom with a good save. Good play by Larson there. He kind of picks it up behind the net. Backhanded it right into the chest of Markstrom for the save. Or maybe it was the pads. I don't know if he got that lifted, but... I think that was Seattle's first shot on goal. They haven't really showed the shots on goal yet. That is something that I wish was more standard on the, like, the score, the score box for... I know, like, Sportsnet, I'm pretty sure, does it, and there's a couple of other ones that do it. They just have shots on goal as part of the score box. And the root one, they'll throw it up there every now and then, but I do wish that was a more consistent thing that was just always a part of the score box for hockey. Yarncroke doing well. Yeah, Yarncroke's... Wasn't really looking for him on his first shift, but he had a pretty good shift there just now. Shots on goal is 5 for the Flames, 2 for the Kraken. Oh, Wemberg had it taken away from him by Noah Hannafin. Oh. Eberle tried to get a shot off, but couldn't. Borgen dumps it up to Eberle. If Eberle's out there, Beniers got to be out there somewhere. There's Beniers. Well past Beniers. Here's Beniers. Oh, got it up. To Donato. Seattle was offside. Donato put himself offside. It's kind of a bouncing puck, so it wasn't like a... Yeah. Mariners lose 3-2. Yeah. I watched the end of that game. It was not especially inspiring. Obviously, like the hit, the ninth inning got fun to watch because they did, went in 3-1 in the ninth, and they got one run, had a chance to get another, but yeah. White Sox slept with the umps before the game. Yeah, Mariners had a guy on, who was it? Someone was on second. I think it was Toro was on second. And Kellenic was up, and he got called out on a ball that was, like, well off the plate inside. And I mean, I only watched the last few innings of the game, but the strike zone was awful in the little bit of the game I did watch. I think baseball just needs to do robo-umps. It's going to take forever for them to actually decide to do it, because they're as stuck in the mud with tradition as the NHL is, but they just need to go to the robo-umps, take the umps out of the game. Like, the game's supposed to be about the players, not about the umpires, but here we are. Sportsnet and TSN do shots on goal as a regular thing. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure about TSN. I knew Sportsnet did. Good to see you in here, Lego Rocks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it just that needs to be a more regular thing. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense why it isn't, but whatever. They're showing Matty Beniers go out there for his first skate around. Love to see it. Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like the scouting, the first media availability that Hackstall had, they talked about, or they asked him if Matty was going to play, and he's like, "Oh, calm down, guys. We're going to let him walk before he runs," or whatever he said. But like, we knew that Beniers' family was flying out to Calgary, and they were going to fly out his family and then not have him play. So he was obviously going to play into this game, and they should be in Seattle for the New Jersey game, which I'm sure he'll also play in. Oh, Larson put it off the bar. Larson's got a couple of good looks. Larson with already a career high in goals in a single season with 5. One of a few Kraken with their career high goal season. If Donato gets one more, he'll join the that list of Kraken players with their best goal scoring season of their careers. McCann's obviously already there. Soucy's already there. Oh, up top. Kiki couldn't quite get to it. Obviously, there's some of the guys that like Cole Lind scored his first NHL goal for the Kraken. Will Borgen scored his first earlier on in the season, which I forgot about when I said that Cole Lind was the first Kraken to get his first goal with the team. That was not actually true. I forgot Will Borgen got his first goal with the Kraken earlier on in the season. His first NHL goal, I should say. So, Cole Lind was the second player in Kraken history to get their first career goal with the team. Both, yeah, there's Will Borgen. Both Borgen and Cole Lind getting that this season. Both of them playing in this game. Yeah, Seattle 3 shots on goal. More attempts than that. 3 shots on goal, 2 of them from Adam Larson of all people. I honestly don't know who the third one's from. I was kind of surprised they said there was 2 shots on goal when Larson had his shot. Here you go, Soucy into the offensive end. What's he got? Mariners going to the World Series this year? Sure, why not? They got to do it eventually, right? Sometime before Earth becomes uninhabitable or whatever's going to happen. Before the sun burns out. I'll just settle for the playoffs for the Mariners this year. It's been 21 years since they were in the playoffs, so I'll happily just take playoffs this year. Even if that means, even if they're the 6th team in the AL, and the only reason they make the playoffs is because they expanded the playoffs, I'll freaking take it. I just want the Mariners in the playoffs. Here we go, now the fights start in the Caps Flyers game. Yeah, a lot of frustration on that Flyers bench, I'm sure, and the Caps, not a team known for backing down from a fight, so neither are the Flyers for that matter. Whoop, Eberle just... I zoom in on Markstrom because he had the puck and Eberle just standing in front of him and his mouth guard just plopped right out of his mouth and onto the ice. He just gave a coy little grin. Oh, Beniers tried to, like, give up the face-off and then... Oh, he turned it over. No! Beniers turned it over to Mangiapane. Or Moore got it stolen from him. There we go. Good checking, Beniers. There we go. There we go. Beniers picked off the pass from Mangiapane. Or to Mangiapane, actually, I should say. And Borgen turned it over, so back in. Whoa. That was a good chance. Who was that? Someone... That was Borgen that got a stick there to defend that shot. Ryan Donato out to Larson's going to get another shot. Oh, I put it wide. All right, so Beniers had a giveaway and a takeaway in that shift, so it all evens out. He had it stolen from him by Mangiapane, and then stole it back on a pass to Mangiapane. So not a bad start for still definitely doesn't look lost. I think the Mangiapane there taking it from him is definitely not something he's probably used to college players being able to do. I don't know if anybody watched the what was it, Jets Habs game last night. It was the only NHL game yesterday at all, and then today there's like the entire league's playing except for maybe a couple of teams, but kind of a weird schedule decision, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that happens every now and then where like there's one game of the day, but usually it's a somewhat notable game and not Jets Habs, two non-playoff teams. Which, if you're coming into the season saying the Jets and Habs both weren't going to make the playoffs, I think Habs would probably be understandable, but yeah, the Jets not in the playoffs is a bit of a surprise, I would say. It's definitely not one I was expecting. I definitely had them in the playoffs. Of course, the ones taking their spot are the Predators, who are, the Predators have basically been what the Jets, I think, were, at least what I kind of expected from the Jets. It was kind of what the Predators have been this year. I think that's probably about accurate, yeah. Looks like the guys are trying to show Matty what they can do. Yeah, I'm sure that, like, I mean, Flames and Kraken, I'm sure, like, when you're playing against especially the Flames, I'm sure, know that there's, a high draft pick from this last draft that's playing his first game, and Kachuk tried to get fancy with it. I think he just lost it in his skates. That was a very good chance for Kachuk. Zadorov trying to throw it out front for Kachuk. There we go. Good stick, Donskoy. Shan up to Geeky. Geeky back to Larson. Larson will just shove it into the corner. Here's Geeky. Oh! Who is this that's in? Susie came in. Oh! That was just good defense by the Flames on that shift. Dubé just skating around in circles, being chased by Yanni Gord. They're going to keep it in. It's Kuhlman. So Kuhlman's with that Gord Lind line, it looks like. I know I saw the lines beforehand, but I couldn't remember who was with that line. Then Rask is with... Oh, that was a nice pass. This is a lot of what we saw in the first period of the... Looks actually, yeah, a lot like the first period, other than it's not 1-1 at this point. But a lot like the first period of the game in Seattle between these two teams. Oh, Kuhlman got a great chance there. And Kuhlman's just come on in these last couple of games offensively. Oh, it was Yarncroke too. Kuhlman just went around Yarncroke and got a good shot off, but he either put it high or got deflected high off Markstrom. Hard to say. Did you see the Oilers Avs game? No, I didn't see it, unfortunately. Hopefully the Avs won. Go Avs. I'll be cheering for the Avs hard in the playoffs, that's for sure. That's the team I cheered for before the Kraken came in, so won't be too hard to pick them as my playoff team, at least as long as they last. Goals, please. Yeah, it's again, like I was saying, this has been a lot like the first period between these two teams in Seattle, where it's like it looks like there's going to be chances, and then the defense around the net is really, really strong on both ends. Like the defense in the neutral zone and around the net is both teams are playing pretty strong in those areas, and not a lot's making it to the nets. Go Avs, go! Absolutely, go Avs, go! Kraken first, Avs second, but you know, only one of those teams is in the playoffs this year. So when we get to May, all Avs. And whatever the Kraken do in the offseason. There we go. Good block. Cale Fleury. Hayden Fleury skating in practice this week with the non-contact. So, oh, there we go. Nice defense, Susie. Oh, Drieger with the save. Oh, there's Beniers down there. Come on, come on, come on. He's going to go for it. Oh, Beniers has it. Oh. Yeah, you can... Oh! Oh, Beniers to Donato and they score! Matty Beniers gets his first point in the NHL. It's an assist. Ryan Donato with the goal. Donato, that'll give Donato his career high in goals for a single season, and for Beniers, gets a point in his first NHL game. What a pass. Oh, it was no look, too. That's a no... He's staring down the net. He just fires the pass over. Donato... Wow. To no look pass it in your first game like that? My goodness. Yeah, Beniers was just staring down Markstrom and fired a no-look pass over Donato, waiting on the opposite face-off dot, and Donato buried it. That's what I said before the game. Donato's the scorer on that, the goal scorer on that line. Not that Beniers or Eberle can't score goals, but like Beniers and Eberle are definitely better at setting up than Donato is, even if they can finish as well. So, and Donato's got a heck of a shot. So Donato a career high in goals. Beniers his first NHL assist. Let's freaking go. That was a beauty of a pass too. It's like top of the face-off dot, stares down Markstrom, fires a perfect no-look pass across to the opposite face-off circle, right at the dot, and Donato buries it. Oh! Flames are trying to respond here. So Matty Beniers gets his first assist. Ryan Donato. Dunn gets the secondary assist on it. Donato with his 15th goal of the season. Again, that's a single season career high for him. So congratulations, Donato, as well. Oh, good shot there by Raskin. Markstrom gave up a bad rebound, but got lucky on the bounce. That was a beautiful pass from Beniers. My goodness. All right, well, so far he's a point-per-game player in the NHL. He looked nice in the Kraken away jersey. Thank you. Yeah, I don't wear... I know someone spacing on the net. I think it was like Sean or someone. Someone was commented in one of the last videos that they hadn't seen the I said I was gonna get an away jersey and they hadn't seen it yet. I haven't worn them in the R&Rs yet, but yeah, I don't really want to wear the white jersey quite as often, just because white jerseys do stain even just from like wearing them. Um, Even if you don't I don't even stain like spilling anything on it. I just mean like if you wear it enough, it will stain. Like it'll get like the I don't know, just the ambient stains or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. Like I have a Griffey white or Griffey white Mariners jersey and a Baldwin white Seahawks jersey, and both of them I've like hardly ever worn. I don't wear them that much. Like, oh crap. Drieger was looking at the ref for something, but it's Noah Hannafin who puts it in. He had himself a I think it was a 4-assist night against the Kraken in Seattle. Yeah, that's a clean goal. That's just I don't know what Drieger. I don't know if Drieger just didn't see it. Was he screened? Oh. So they're saying Matthew Tkachuk might have tipped it in. Well, that sucks. Tied at 1. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like it was Matthew Tkachuk tipped it in off of Hannafin. So Hannafin, a 5th goal in 2 games. 5th goal early in 3 periods. Looks like the Flames are going to the power play. Annoying. There's a seismic disturbance in Lake Michigan. It's not in Lake Michigan anymore. It's in Calgary now. Matty Beniers. Or Seattle. I guess you could say Seattle, but. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Drieger got screened on that or what happened there, but Drieger did not respond to that shot from Hannafin very, very quickly, and whether it was tipped in by Tkachuk or not, he was beat on it. Do you have a favorite Seattle team logo? It would probably still be the Seahawks logo. I would have to say, like, yeah. I mean, I like the green, the blue and green better than blue and red, to be honest. And I do like the like 3 shades of blue and the kind of like teal colors. I like the Kraken colors a lot, and I like the Mariners colors as well. Um, but yeah, the Seahawks logo, I really like the Seahawks logo a lot. Obviously, some local inspiration from the First Nations or indigenous people of the area. So yeah, Donato just kind of making a hothead slash there. Not smart from Donato. Sorry, not smart from Dunn. Dunn kind of put himself in the box there. Let's see who they got. So they got Donskoy out there, Cheyenne, Larson, and Alexiak. Oh, Donskoy couldn't get it farther out than that. Come on. Waste a little more time. 1 out of the last 13 on their power play. Wow. Kraken would be happy to be that good on their power play. Ooh, that was some good puck movement. There we go, Larson. Nice slow dribbler down the ice. Oh, Gord. There we go. Pretty good kill here for a little bit. Uh-oh, who's this getting lost on the other side? Backlund was... Alright. They didn't find him very cleanly. No! Don't let Hannafin take shots. They always find their way into the back of the net off of somebody. Hannafin already has 5 assists in 4 periods, the last 4 periods against the Kraken. Hannafin's been a Kraken killer as far as dealing out assists, anyway. I'd love to see the Supersonics with some blue in their color scheme. Yeah, I mean they'll go back to, they'll definitely be the Sonics unless OKC just, because I think technically Oklahoma still owns the Sonics history. I don't remember exactly. It's all bull crap either way, but I would imagine they'll be the Sonics when it'll be an expansion team, so it'll be a different like franchise of Sonics, but be kind of like how the Jets are with Winnipeg. Like it's a different Jets, but it's still the Winnipeg Jets. So I would imagine they would still go with green and yellow and maybe red, but probably just green and yellow. But yeah, I agree. Like I like green and blue, kind of like city colors, sort of. And blue's definitely the main color, like the dark sea blue, ocean blue, whatever you want to call it. Well, that was a good kill by the Kraken. Oh, Donato got the steal, but he couldn't quite handle it into the... I mean, he was defended by 2 guys, so just good defense to break up his breakaway attempt. Donato was trying to get it to... Beniers was coming down the slot all by himself, but Donato couldn't get a... Donato was being hounded along the boards, so... Yeah, good first period from Beniers. Obviously, the like beauty of a pass that led to the Donato goal, and yeah, some pretty good plays otherwise. Really, only the one mistake, I guess you could say, where Mangiapane, who's a very good player in his own right, Mangiapane just stole it from him, but didn't cost the Kraken, and he recovered back down in the Kraken end. So yeah, good first period from Beniers. Obviously. A point per period really player in the NHL so far. Thunder left the Sonics history in Seattle. Some of it, they took the championship trophy. Maybe it was the naming rights. But like they still as a franchise claim the championship. Like obviously it's still like history remembers it as the Seattle Sonics won, but the championship trophy I'm pretty sure is in OKC, which, you know, OKC's never done anything other than lose a championship in hilarious fashion. And chase away all of their superstars. If that team had stayed in Seattle, man, they could have won like 2 or 3 titles with Harden and Westbrook and Durant. because they would have all stayed. No one wants to be in OKC, but those guys, like, if it was a Seattle, like they would have stayed in Seattle. They would have won a couple of titles together. Harden would have never gone to the Rockets. But they go to OKC. Nobody even in OKC wants to be in OKC. And so obviously they all got out of there eventually. Do you still root for the Avalanche? Yeah, but I don't follow them quite as closely as I used to. I mean, I follow the Kraken much closer than I ever followed the Avalanche, but because of how close I follow the Kraken now, which, you know, was always going to be part of it, it's, yeah, I don't have quite the time to watch as many Avs games. I mean, I didn't watch every Avs game, but try to, you know, catch a few, as many as I could while not having easy access to them. But yes, I do still root for the Avs as my backup team, if you will. Hi, Pablo. You see the Kraken can teleport. We're gonna hear some loud roars out of the sound soon. There you go. I lived in OKC for several years and my heart hurts. I'm sorry. I've never actually been to OKC, so you know, it's mostly just bitterness at how some rich people from OKC came and stole a team that had been a part of Seattle for 40 years. Really nothing against the people of OKC, but also, like, let's be honest, Seattle's a nicer city than Oklahoma City is. It's just not really a lot to do in Oklahoma unless you're a farmer. OKC is not a bad city, and the Thunder have a nice logo like the Sonics. I hope the Sonics come back for the OKC rivalry. Oh my goodness. That is when the Sonics come back the first time OKC comes to town. Oh, like there might be a new sound record for professional sporting events just from the boos. Obviously, it's like all new players, so like none of the players have anything to do with what happened. But if that, I would imagine OKC's like ownership and front office doesn't even come to that game because it would be borderline dangerous for them too. Seattle hates the Thunder. Like this is my feelings about OKC and the Thunder are not unique in Seattle. In fact, they're pretty much the norm as far as Seattle sports fans are concerned. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've nothing against anybody from Oklahoma City. It's all just bitterness about the Sonics, what happened with the Sonics. And unfortunately, the people that benefited from it, people finding happiness, and rightly so, with your team, your city getting their only sports team. Like, not that it's understandable why they would be happy, but when a city is happy over the like worst moment in the history of sports of the city that I'm in, yeah, there's gonna be a little tension there, we'll say. Plenty to do. Fair enough. OKC is an underrated city, definitely not Seattle, but there's plenty to do. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like I said, I've never been there, and to be honest, I probably will never go there. I can't really see any reason why I would. Um, you know, it would be fun to go see sporting events in all sorts of different, or pro sporting events in all sorts of different arenas and stadiums, but if I'm gonna travel for the purpose of pro sporting events, I'm gonna be going to hockey or baseball or football first, because ultimately the NBA is my fourth favorite league. So, like, you know, and most of the reason that I travel is to go to like national parks and that kind of thing anyway, or, you know, have interest in traveling is to go to national parks and that kind of stuff, which There's not anywhere near OKC as far as I can remember. Um, so yeah, I don't really see a reason I would go to OKC, but so again, I'm speaking from no experience. It's literally just the bitterness of a Seattle sports fan, and I think well-founded bitterness. I think it's understandable. Go Flames! Come on, River. I have a couple friends that are Flames fans, so no hard feelings. We're cheering for different teams, but no hard feelings. I would personally fly to Seattle for that game, and I'm a Raptors fan. Yeah, that would be the type of sporting event that would just be like fun to be a part of, even if you had no rooting interest in it. Just to like hear that. Yeah, like I said, there's gonna be that'll be the boo heard around the world from like the entire arena is gonna shake from the booing when that happens. And Seattle's getting an NBA team like in the next few years, I think. So as long as OKC stays in OKC, then yeah, it's gonna be happening here in the next handful of years. Let's see here. Yeah, like it seems like Drieger saw the shot coming. He just reacted late. So yeah, I don't know. That was weird. He just reacted slowly to it. So maybe he was screened a little bit. Like maybe he saw the shot in motion, but didn't really see when the shot itself got taken. Because he was just kind of like froze and then slowly he reacted to it. He just reacted slow to it. I don't know. That was weird. Can Seattle make the playoffs next year with the Kraken? Can, yes, absolutely. Will they? I don't know. I mean, this year would have been a good year to do it because of how mediocre the Pacific Division is. Um, yeah, it's. I don't know. I lost track of where I thought. Yeah, sorry. The Kraken can make. They can. This year would have been the year, obviously, the easier year to do it, I think, because of how mediocre the Pacific Division is. But I mean, it's not going to be a hugely stronger division next year. The Flames are always like, they're having a very very good season this year, obviously, but the Flames are so unpredictable. They'll still have a good team next year, so they should still be a playoff team. Whether or not they are, they've missed the playoffs a lot of years with a playoff team, so it's hard to say for sure ever that the Flames are going to the playoffs. The Canucks, same deal, but they miss the playoffs more often than not. So hard to say with the Canucks. I would kind of bet against the Canucks making the playoffs next year. Lego Rocks is still in here. I apologize, but I yeah right now obviously like there's still the off season and the draft, so plenty can change between now and next season. But as it stands right now, again, hard to bet against Vegas, especially if they, don't have ridiculous amounts of injuries to top players like they did this year. Um, both LA and Anaheim, I think, are kind of the wild. LA, Anaheim, and Seattle are kind of the three wild cards. The Sharks, I don't really expect much out of next season. I think they're just living in denial right now about the fact that they should be doing a rebuild, but they just don't. They don't want to, which, to be fair, that franchise has been to the playoffs so many times and with such consistency that you can see why would we want to rebuild when we've never really had to, kind of thing. But yeah, the Sharks I could see kind of having a rough season next year. The Ducks, I still don't quite think the Ducks will be ready to make the playoff run, but they've got a lot of young talent. They feel a lot like how the Kings felt at this time last year. There's a lot you can see that the future's there. It's just how long is it going to take to really get going. Um, the Kings kind of performed, I think, better than expected for most of this season. It's starting to fall off a bit. Again, lots of young talent, and you'd think have a chance to take another step forward next season. But goaltending then would be the question because Quick obviously is not getting any younger. Um, so yeah, I think they do have a chance. They'll be better. They'll certainly be better next year than they were this year. I still think that this is, if you play this season with the same roster going into the season, if you take the same roster the Kraken had going into the season, you play it 100 times, they probably make the playoffs at around 50 of them. So, um, yeah, I think this season just went about as poorly as it possibly could have for the Kraken, given what they had coming in. They're talking about Beniers, sorry. Donato talking about Beniers. So I'm just listening to what Donato here has to say about Beniers. Mostly he just said he's looking good. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's fun to listen to. Yeah, so basically like Beniers has good vision. He knows that he has a good shot, but there we go. Some people with their customized Beniers jerseys and finally getting to wear them. I'm gonna be moving soon, but to be honest, I'm not thrilled about it. Yeah, I mean moving's never especially like moving's not that fun, unless you're moving out of a situation that you don't like, then yeah, it's not. Oh, Donato did not get all of that shot. Sorry, they showed the slow mo replay of Donato's shot. He was trying to just rip that in, and he did not get all of it. It just slid along the ice and slid right under the puck height crack that under the pad of Markstrom. Markstrom trying to get his foot to the post just left a little gap between the ice and his pad, and Donato's kind of half fan on the just slid the puck right through that little gap and in. Still, like regardless, a beautiful pass by Beniers. Even if that had been saved, it was a gorgeous pass. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, don't forget to update the period. Oh, and the goals. I'm all over the place. Oh, I don't even have that up there. Oh, hold on. What's going on here? Guys didn't even let me know that I didn't have the score up there. Whoops. All right, we're getting it fixed. Don't worry about it. We're working on it. Sorry, it's Photoshop's just taking a while to open up. Here we go. Do 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 do. That should do it. There we go. Now we're caught up. Second period. Well, second period about to start here, and we're tied at 1, and we got the score up there. So. Thank you, KJ Brun, for keeping me on my toes there with the scoreboard, the little graphic. I hope to see the Kraken in person next year. Who knows, you might see me there. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, be good to see them in person. The arena is awesome. It's a, no, having never seen an NHL game outside of Seattle, I can safely say that it's the best NHL experience. Certainly the best NHL experience I've ever had is in Seattle. That I can say with 100% confidence and accuracy. Has the game started? Yes, we're about to start the second period. I know I didn't do a great job having the score up top, so that's on me. Had a layer. There was a layer over another layer in the OBS setup. A layering issue in OBS. But we got it figured out. So it's 1-1 after 20 minutes, so we're going to the second period here. They're putting tape on the puck for first. First assist, first game. Beniers going to have a couple of pucks with the Flame logo on them. Obviously, it being in Calgary, all the pucks have the Flames logo on it. Just Donato and Beniers next to each other. Spent some time at least training together before they either one of them ever even knew what a Seattle Kraken was. So. All right, so who we got? What line's out there? Got Colin, so that same Lind Rask Gord line. How about Victor Rask getting traded for nothing and now playing on the first line? Well, that was a couple of dangerous looks there. Johnny Gaudreau got a decent little chip shot off there. Gaudreau going to get another shot. Kachuk will take it. Nope, Gaudreau up to... Okay, Colin chipped it out. Second period underway. Can Seattle make it to 60 points? Oh, how many do they have? I think 52 if I remember right. So probably not. Yeah, 52 points. Yeah, they're not making it to 60. No, unfortunately, the Kraken probably won't make it to 60 points. I would bet, like, they got 10 games left, this being one of them. I could see, like, 3 more wins, maybe another overtime win. So, what, like, 7 more points? So, I guess there's a chance they could get to 60, but... Yeah, there's definitely a chance they could get to 60. I don't know. For some reason, I was thinking... Oh! Cale Fleury fanned on it. Fine Fleury. Oh, they're going to get it out. Good press by the Beniers line. I can't remember who so they've got the Jets. They've got the Devils should be a winnable game, although that's... The Devils are one of the teams you kind of don't want to beat just because of the first pick odds race. Jeez. Say that. Canucks, you'd like to think they could win one of their games this season against the Canucks with only one left. Obviously, this is a tough game. They've got one more against Ottawa. So you'd think that would be a winnable game, although, again, another team you probably don't really want to be winning against. Just for the draft odds. Yeah, let's look at the schedule here and see what's left. Let me pull it up. Schedule for the Kraken. So schedule for the Kraken games left. So we got Calgary. Then New Jersey and Ottawa back-to-back. Again, those are two very winnable games. Though, again, both of those are teams they're draft odds chasing. Then Minnesota, that's a very good team that's pushing for the playoffs, so probably not. Dallas, maybe. Although it's at Dallas and they're very good at home, so probably not. Vancouver, maybe. LA, maybe. So, yeah, I think there's a pretty decent chance they get to 60 points. It's definitely not the hardest schedule they have left, so I could see them getting to 60 points. Whether or not that's a good thing for them to get to 60 points, 60 points certainly doesn't get them the best odds at the first pick for the draft lotto. That's probably going to be somewhere in the like 56 points is probably that first pick. Or I should say best odds at the first pick at Shane Wright. Maybe like, maybe like 57 or 58 points, but I think it's probably like 56 points. That's going to be the worst team. The Kraken have been playing. They've been playing competitively. Here's Gord. Oh, Gord to Rask scores. Yes. Oh man, that first line, pressing. Lind got it out to Gord. He got a good chance. It was saved, but Gord went back, picked it up, got it out to Rask, and he buries it from wide open in the slot. Let's see, is there anyone on Rask here? So they just leave Rask wide open, and he just puts it in. Yeah, Rask just found the empty space. Gord got it to him, and he beat Markstrom. Nice. Not 5 points. I almost put 5 in there. 2 points. That's better. Jets game is canceled. No, it just got postponed till the end of the season. So the Jets game will still happen. It just is on May 1st now instead of tomorrow. So it'll be the last game of the season rather than, again, tomorrow. And maybe we'll do a stream for that one. Stream the last game of the season. That sounds fun. Gotta schedule-wise make sure that works out for my schedule personally, but I think that should be doable. Beniers out to Donato, back to Beniers. Oh, Donato, you should have just taken the shot. Donato's like trying to. That's the second time that Donato's like tried to get a puck to Beniers to get him that first goal in the first game. I think Donato should have just taken that shot though. So Lind did that twice. Lind got it to Gord. Gord got the shot. And then Gord's rebound went... The rebound off the Gord shot went back to Lind. He got it back down to Gord, who found Rask for the goal. Yeah, Cole Lind, like that... I mean, obviously Rask being the finisher on that, but the combination of Yanni Gord and Cole Lind has been really, really good ever since Lind came back up since the trade deadline. Oh, steal. Oh, how did that not go in? Oh, how did that not go in from Susie? Oh, Wenberg pat. Oh, good stick there by Kale. Or not Kale. No, that was right. Kale. Kale Cole. A Kale and a Cole, just... Considering neither one of them has played most of the season with the team, it keeps tripping over Kale's name for whatever reason. Come on, McCann. McCann gets it up to Kuhlman. Kuhlman will dump it in on net. Seattle gets a change. Who's out here? Eberle, so that's the Beniers line. There we go. Eberle carrying it up. He's going to find off the boards to Donato. Donato went for the hard angle shot. Donato keeps it into the corner. See if Eberle can get it. Nope, not quite. So, yeah, now the Flames can break it out. Oh, Beniers didn't handle it cleanly, but he still, off the boards, got it out to Donato. So good play there by Beniers. Who's that on the ice? Oh, Beniers. Oof. Beniers throwing himself around. Don't hurt yourself, bud. It's just game one. Game one of your career. We don't need you rehabbing in your first off season. Score is wrong. It should be right now. Oh, you're right. It is wrong. I put home. My goodness. Matty Beniers is having a better first game than I am right now. It's not even my first time. Welcome back, Sean. Thanks for the thanks for the heads up on that. I was like, it's 2-1. You're but wrong team had the 2. Kraken are up 2-1, not the Flames. Even if maybe we would have expected differently, but Victor Rasberrying it. So thanks for the heads up, Hockey Girl Soph. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We'll try and go error free on my end with the the graphic here the rest of the way. After having no score up there whatsoever in the first period, and then giving the Flames the Kraken second goal. We'll get it right from here on out. Crazy Beniers didn't go to the AHL. I mean, yeah, there's not really any, he would be going to the AHL for the Checkers in the playoffs, which, like, I mean, the playoffs would be fun, but he's good enough to try and make. He's good enough to give a look at the NHL first, and then see what happens, like how he goes in the NHL first. And obviously his college season just ended on Saturday, so or not on Saturday. Sorry, it ended on Thursday of last week. So good defense there by Beniers, showing that 200-foot play, as they call it, but the good two-way aspect of his game, which is that's part of why the Kraken drafted him. He was pretty close to the consensus number 2 pick after Owen Power went first. But that's, he, as a two-way forward, he definitely fits what the Kraken are trying to do. Gord steals it. Rask. Done. Oh, get to it, Lind. Lind out to Larson. Oh, found a skate. Darn it. Couple good looks there for the Kraken. And Kachuk turns it right over to Dunn. Gord up to himself. Never mind. Thought he was going to pass it to Lind. And Gord is just getting mauled along the boards. But he kept it. Shan shot. Oh. They got a good rebound, but Cole Lind just couldn't quite get a stick on the bouncing rebound. There's Brandon's brother, Chris Tanev. Can't wait to see Brandon back next year. Is that in the screen or was that icing? Oh, Pablo also looking out. Score should have been 2-1. You're right. I forgot about Blankenberg or whatever. Yeah, the Blue Jackets had 2 Wolverines that they signed here. 2 of Beniers' old teammates. Susie will put it in, but they have to go check back up. Do you think the Kraken will re-sign Donato? I would imagine they probably will. As long as Donato doesn't like ask for way too much, then yeah. I don't see why not. Like he's fit better at the Kraken with the Kraken than he has anywhere else. Again, he has some familiarity with Beniers, so that helps. I will say Donato's not the most. He's not the most two-way forward ever, but the Kraken have a lot of two-way type of forwards, so they have a lot of two-way type of forwards and not a lot of finishers. Which Donato's not an elite finisher by any means, but he has a very very good shot, and that's definitely an aspect of his game is some finishing potential. So I feel like he's a good fit for the team, and he's the goal he has in this game is career high in goals in a single season. So I think he's certainly showed enough to earn a new contract from the Kraken. Certainly given his NHL career second wind with this season with Seattle, regardless of he'll at least stay in the NHL next year to start the season. Hopefully it's with Seattle. I'd like to see him stay in Seattle for sure. A few Japanese wrestlers kind of understand that you're a hockey fan. Good to know. Gotta evangelize hockey to the Japanese wrestling community. Always good. More hockey fans, the better. Come on, Beniers. Oh my god. Just keep that puck, buddy. Good job. Oh, Beniers! Oh, he couldn't get the shot off. That was Beniers back to Donato. Donato Eberle! Oh, how did that stay out? Oh, and Donato couldn't find the empty net. It was from a pretty tight angle, so that's not, even with the net being empty and some guys in front of him, that's not an easy one to hit. Donato's going to go for a change here. Here comes Gord's line. I guess I should say Cole Lynn's line, I think. But basically the Gord line, let's be honest with ourselves. Even if Gord's a winger. On it. Maybe he's a center, I don't know. Lynn is the one they have taking face-offs, we'll put it that way. Ooh, Johnny Gaudreau on Cale Fleury's not a matchup you want if you're the Kraken, but Cale held him up, so worked out. Good job, Cale. I liked what Cale showed right around the All-Star break, but he hasn't been bad, but he definitely hasn't stood out super positively either since coming up in these last few games. Oh, good shot from Sheahan. Good save from Markstrom, too. All right, let's get. Are we going to get a look at Eberle's chance here? How does this stay out? Oh, it just went off the bottom of the crossbar. Oh. He got it right through the armpit of Markstrom, but it went off the bottom of the crossbar and stayed out. Oh, that's a bummer. Do you see Seattle firing their coach? Not in the offseason. They'll give him the start of next season, and if things continue to go poorly, then he probably does get onto the hot seat, and maybe they make a move like middle of next year. But they'll at least give him the start of the season. Which again, it's an expansion team, so and a lot of the things that have gone like I think there probably is better coaching options out there than Hackstall, if I'm being perfectly honest, but at the same time, it's an expansion team, and a lot of the things that have gone wrong have not really been... There really hasn't been a lot that Hackstall could have done about it. something does have to be done about the special teams, or especially the power play. Like they've got to get the power play figured out somehow. Um, which it's just been terrible all year long. They had like a 1 week stretch where it looked like a good power play, and then it just fell apart again. So. Eberle had a bad bounce. Yep, hit the crossbar and stayed out. That's Eberle's season. Just been a season of bad bounces. He had a stretch where he was scoring the way he probably should have been all season long, but season kind of bookended by just being snake bit for Eberle. Oh, Markstrom's definitely a Vezina finalist, yeah. I mean, I'd imagine the Vezina finalists, it'll be Igor Shesterkin, Jacob Markstrom, and who would the third one be? I mean, you could just have Vasilevsky in there any year, but I don't know who the third one. Hellebuck has not had a good season. That would be another guy that you could usually put in there, but yeah, I don't know who the third one would be. Who would you guys have? So I think Shesterkin and Markstrom are, I think, pretty clearly two of the, probably UC Saros. I think maybe UC Saros would be, although the defense in Nashville, maybe they just give more credit to defense there, but you think Vasilevsky's the third one? Yeah, I mean, Vasilevsky's the one that would make sense just because he's like, you know, from year to year, he's the best goaltender in the NHL, regardless of season. This season, the season that Shesterkin's having in New York is obviously he's been the best goaltender of this season, but the overall best goaltender is still Vasilevsky, so he could just be the third finalist for that reason alone. Still, I think it's Shesterkin's Vezina to lose. And Markstrom probably gets second most voting, regardless of who the third is. Darcy Kemper is a decent option. I like the Avs, but I feel like, from an Avs fan perspective, it would be fun to have Kemper there. And he's had a good season, just I think Saros has been better. Vasilevsky has not been his normal Vasilevsky self, but I think he's still worthy of being a finalist. Demko's had a pretty good season as well. The problem is the Canucks haven't had a good enough season for him really to be considered, I would think. Which, as much as it is about the best goaltender, not the best goaltender on the best team, guys, for those individual awards, the team at least making the playoffs is usually something that's pretty heavily considered. It goes in, for better or for worse, that goes into it. Like, Demko's stolen a lot of wins for the Canucks this season and kept them out of the bottom of the entire NHL through the first half of the year, through December. You like Kemper? Yeah, Kemper's had a good year. I definitely wouldn't be, like, I might be a little bit surprised, but like it wouldn't be like a shock to see Kemper as a finalist. Oh, Beniers carrying it in, and then go off on a change. So get the rest of that Gord line out there. There's Gord chasing it in. Gord, oh, good steal. Gord up. Oh, that was Cole Lind. Gord to Lind, almost connected, but Lind was defended well. I think Markstrom probably was there for it anyway, but Rask, Gord. Oh, that was a nice play by Gord right up until he passed it tape to Kachuk. And the Flames are going to get another power play, it looks like. And it's Adam Larson. Larson to the box, Flames to the power play, and a chance to even things up here at 2. But Kraken leading it currently. Goals from the first period for Ryan Donato, 15th of the season, career high in goals in a single season. Off of the first NHL point for Matty Beniers with a beautiful no-look pass. And then the second goal was a good play by the Gord line, put in by Victor Rask off of Gord. Seattle should have gotten Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's no way for them. They shouldn't have got him at the trade deadline. There's no reason to trade for him at the trade deadline. They were definitely sellers there. Which, even if they had gotten him in the offseason, like if they had been the team that traded for him from Chicago, which, I mean, maybe, or from Vegas, which, if they hadn't gotten Grubauer in free agency and, they get wind that Vegas is looking to trade Marc-Andre Fleury and they're willing to trade him to a team in the division, which, I mean, that's part of it, is Vegas might not have been willing to trade Fleury to a divisional rival. Although that being said, they tried to trade Radko Gudas to a divisional rival, so... yeah, I mean, unless they had gotten him in the offseason when Vegas traded him, they weren't going to get him at the trade deadline. I love Marc-Andre Fleury. It would be a lot of fun to have him in Seattle, but again, much like Hackstall behind the bench, the goaltending is a situation that, again, you give it one more year, especially give it the start of next season with Drieger and Grubauer, and see with a more fully fleshed out defense and a defense that's played together and that he's played behind, more importantly, for a full season. See if, he can get off to a better start and have a rebound year. Who knows? Like, again, Calgary wouldn't be in the position they're in right now. Calgary wouldn't be in the position they're in right now if they had given up on Markstrom after last season, which, Markstrom's season last year was still better than Grubauer's this year, but it was definitely a disappointing season for him last year. So here we go. Kraken on the kill. Killed off 30 seconds of it so far. A couple of shot attempts from the Flames. One of them might have been on goal. Oh, there you go. Good block from Alexiak. Tried to get a stick on it, but couldn't. Oh! Drieger got a save there with his pad, I think. Mangiapane. Maybe it was a blocker. Halfway through the kill. Soucy dumps it out. Good job. Good job. Vegas trades are truly weird. Yeah, well, I mean, trading a guy that just won the Vezina trophy and that you had verbally told that you were going to stick with for the long term, trading him for literally for free is definitely an interesting move regardless. But just in general, not calling players or their agents and letting them find out via social media, definitely an interesting move for sure. Questionable at best. Oh, good job, Drieger, and the defense in front of him as well. Oh, big save on... Is that on Lindholm? Okay. Oh, Drieger is on it right now. Full strength. Larson gets into the play, so we're back to 5-on-5 now. Flames definitely got some good looks there at the end of that power play, but Drieger came up big and some big blocks as well. And Gord's got to get out on a change. Yeah, here comes the McCann line. Goudreau's still out there. Dunn's going to find somebody, right? There we go. Up to Wemberg. I guess it's technically the Wemberg line because McCann will be on the wing, but... Oh, he scored! How did that find its way in? Larson with his 6th of the season, extending a career high. Matching his jersey number. All right, so how does this happen? Oh, just right through the 5-hole of Markstrom. Larson just threw it on net. I mean, obviously, you're hoping that any shot you take off at the net goes in, but I think he's more looking for a rebound there with Donskoy and Wemberg on either side of the goal, but just went right through the 5-hole of Markstrom and in. 3-1 Kraken. And I'm going to give the Kraken the goal for that instead of making it a Flames goal like I did last time. Here comes Beniers in. Beniers out to Borgen. Borgen to Alexiak. Beniers! Nope, went past him. I thought like maybe he could tip it in there. Eberle! Oh, Eberle just took too long to try and shoot that. Let's try and one-time it, maybe get a rebound if nothing else. But Beniers with the puck. He's going to get it up to Borgen. Borgen to Alexiak. Alexiak to Borgen. Borgen shoots. Beniers has it. Back up to Borgen. Alexiak. Done in for Borgen. And the Flames will finally get it. They'll get the breakout, and the line will go out for a change. Good shift there from the Beniers line. So Wemberg and Donskoy with the assists on the Larson goal. Sorry, it's his 7th of the season. He already got 6. Because I forgot about that. But he's now at 7 on the season, almost doubling his previous career high of 4. Needs one more to double that career high. An 8-goal season from Adam Larson would be quite something. I mean, even 7's more than could have been expected. And McCann just hasn't really looked like himself for the last couple of weeks. Kind of weird. Whoop! Puck just took a hop, skip, and a jump over Dunn's stick there, but no one but Kraken players behind him to get it, so it ends up being okay. Oh, what's up, Sergeant Pickles? Welcome in. I'm so bummed I can't watch this live, but seems to be going well, and hello, everyone. What's up, Sergeant Pickles? Happy you could join us. Sorry you can't watch it live either. There'll be some Beniers highlights for you to watch later, for sure. I mean, not for me, but like Beniers is he got his first NHL assist in the first period. And Coleman's just sticking to Beniers. Zadorov is so big. Oh. Woo! Cole Lind got away with one there, buddy. Lind was just trying to dump it past whoever that was, and just took it right off Lind's stick and fired off a shot that Drieger was ready for, fortunately. The Golden Knights have a Gilbert Head of a GM. Yeah, I mean, like he's obviously built a great team from day one, and you can say good things about the fact that Vegas is in on every top free agent every season. They're always going for Vegas was never one of the top destinations people thought for Jack Eichel. But then it was always kind of like but there's also Vegas, and Vegas is always in on the top players when they're available. And sure enough, Eichel ends up in Vegas. So, I mean, you can say a lot of good things about what Vegas does, and it's definitely a cutthroat way of running a team. But but that can be a good thing. This year, though, it's definitely, I would say, the first year where it's started to look a lot more questionable when you I mean the situation with Zador, or not Zadorov, the situation with uh Dodonov at the trade deadline is obviously embarrassing regardless of what who the team is. Um but treating Marc-Andre Fleury the way they did in the offseason, especially like it being Marc-Andre Fleury who has one of the best reputations of any player in like the history of the NHL, yeah, that's a bad look for sure. If Seattle don't get right, who do you think will get it in the draft? Well, at this point, if Seattle doesn't get the first, okay, so all we can really talk about right now is the first best odds at that first pick. Yeah, so the best odds at the first pick is all we can really predict right now, and the draft lotto, as always, can go all sorts of different directions. Buffalo fans know that all too well. Um, so just going based on if there aren't any huge shakeups at the draft lottery, Arizona probably has the best shot at it right now. I think, just because you've got, I mean, it's most likely going to be Seattle, Arizona, or uh, Montreal, but Montreal has played a lot better ever since Martin St. Louis took over behind the bench, and they've got enough talent there with where they'll ride that to enough wins to at least beat out Arizona. Like I don't think Arizona's going to pass back over Montreal. And again, I mean the Kraken can play better than the Kraken are a better team than the Coyotes are. So you'd think that, especially considering they don't have a Seattle doesn't have a terribly hard schedule the rest of the way, that it'll probably end up being Arizona that gets the first pick. They'll certainly have the best odds, but I have a question. Trump Biden. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into politics. All I'll say about politics is definitely not Trump. Ever, not ever Trump. Not. That's all I'm gonna say there. Honestly, like, yeah. It's hard to care too much past it, but just not Trump. Let's see. What else do we have here? What you said, Riley. Um, if we are lucky enough to hold on for a win, I wish I could Men in Black my mind, wipe myself, and watch the recording. I mean, I suppose you could just not watch the rest of watch the recording later and not know past 3-1 what happens, but of course that's kind of a situation then where like now that it's 3-1 at one point in the game, so like you don't really want to watch if they end up losing because that means that there was a third period comeback loss for the crack or yeah win for the Flames, but the Kraken gave up a comeback loss, which nobody wants to watch that. I'm not gonna talk more about politics. It's not gonna happen. Just gonna say my feelings about what I said about that should be pretty obvious. Pretty, it should be obvious. Like you shouldn't need a sentence. It's pretty obvious why he was an idiot. I mean, I'm not trying to like, it's just that's not why we're here. I'm not trying to be rude to like. I understand that you're curious, and I get that. I'm just not. We're here for sports, and politics can, especially the current political landscape of things, most places, but especially in the states, is not something that anybody that wants to is watching sports wants to be thinking about, right? So That's it. Not trying to be rude. Just not why we're here. How's it going, Egginator? Welcome in. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to ask. Don't I don't have any I don't have a problem with people asking any appropriate question, and just for the most part I'm going to try to stick to sports. So thanks for being cool about it. Appreciate it. Thanks, Scott, for no Pauls. Yeah. I like all I'll say about politics is I do wish people would pay more attention and like actually educate themselves on it, regardless of where you end up. Just there should be more education. That's all. I don't feel like that's like more people being more educated about politics. I think is not a controversial take. Shouldn't be. But that's that's that. Just because people should be more educated about it doesn't mean that it needs to be the topic of conversation in every setting, and this is not the setting for it. So, but appreciate you being cool about the about avoiding that. Not watching now feels like a lose lose. I'll say that like if you should watch the recording in the first period at the very least, because Beniers just watch Beniers' first period. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Beniers got the assist on that first goal, and it was a beauty for sure. So even if you know like what happened, seeing how it happened with that first Donato goal, so I definitely watch that one for sure. Good evening, DJ Taps, or Traps, sorry. Later, Brennan. Thanks for stopping by. Since we are eliminated, I'm rooting for we. Assuming you're saying Kraken. So yeah, since we're eliminated, so Kraken. I'm rooting for Florida for Jumbo Joe to have Ray Bork style ending. Sorry, Agnew, I can't remember if you're could be talking about the Sharks then as well. But yeah, Jumbo Joe. No, it's since the Kraken or Sharks who are eliminated. Eggenator cheering for Florida in the playoffs. Not a bad choice. They've never won a cup, so that'd be kind of fun. Um, that's Philly fans are Philly. I think Philly and Sharks fans are all aboard the Florida bandwagon. Sharks fans for Jumbo Joe, obviously, and Philly fans for uh, Giroux. Yes, Kraken. Okay, good. Just make sure. I didn't want to speak for you without knowing for sure, but I was pretty sure you're going for Kraken. You have a broken knee, Pablo. Oh, no. Hope that heals up. Do you like the NFL? Yes, I do like the NFL. Next year, I don't like what's going on in the NFL from the perspective of a Seahawks fan right now, but I do like the NFL. I like watching the NFL. I'll put it that way. Don't like that the Rams won the Super Bowl at all. That was basically a worst case scenario. Don't like how this offseason has gone at all. Absolutely a worst case scenario. But general statement, yeah, I like watching the NFL. I guess we'll probably get this changed over to the third period sometime before the third period starts, huh? File. Save as. Oh, gotta save it as copy. Photoshop changed how it works. PNG. Override, and we've got the third period up there. There we go. Kraken leading 3-1 as we will be going into the third here pretty soon. Do you think the Kraken? Do you think the Seahawks should draft Kenny Pickett? I really hope the Seahawks don't go with a quarterback 9th overall. Personally, I don't really think that there's a franchise-changing quarterback in this draft. That having been said, nobody would have. It is the NFL, and franchise-changing quarterbacks can come from all over the place and very unexpectedly. So, and we haven't seen a true franchise-changing quarterback show up since, well, in the last few drafts. At least not yet, anyway. Herbert's probably the last one, right? Yeah, but I mean, no one would have expected Russell Wilson to be a starter, much less a franchise-changing quarterback when they took him 3rd overall. So, anything could happen, but yeah, I feel like this is not the draft to be taking a quarterback 9th overall. They've got plenty of other spots that they can try to shore up, and at least as far as they're saying, and I think they would be right to give it, unless they can get, I'm still not against them going after Baker Mayfield as long as they don't have to give up very much to get him. If they can get Baker for a reasonable price, then I wouldn't hate them picking him up. Otherwise, I don't think Drew Lock is the answer, but you might as well give him a chance. See what happens. Maybe a change of scenery. He was a high pick, and maybe a change of scenery is what he needs, and maybe he can be the guy. So use that 9th overall pick for something else, and see where you can end up. Brendan Productions Gaming in here after Brendan Productions left. I wonder if there's a relation there, maybe. Sorry about this, but I hope the Flames win. That's fine. Huh? I mean, honestly, the Flames. Most people here, I think, are hoping that the Kraken win, but the Flames winning wouldn't be bad for the Kraken either, just from pick odds standpoint. But I feel like this game really doesn't matter that much to either team. Probably the Flames are gonna win the Pacific, and they're not gonna catch the Avalanche for the first seed. So that the Flames are kind of just coasting to their division win and all that. But yeah, I mean, the most that this game really matters for either team is it would be, technically speaking, better for the Kraken to lose it for the better chance at those first odds. But Kraken fans aren't here to cheer against the Kraken, so. I wonder if Brendan Productions has a shorts channel as well. No, now I have. Okay. Later, Brendan. Rask is a really low-key guy. Most hockey players are pretty low-key. It's not... Yeah, it's not terribly unique to Rask, but yeah, he is. He definitely is pretty soft-spoken. At least around media. I should say, it's just part of kind of hockey culture is that, yeah, hockey culture is definitely that way where you don't get a lot of very eccentric personalities media facing anyway. There's a lot of interesting personalities in a locker room for sure, but not. It's just yeah, it's part of. It's something that I think needs to change about hockey. Having more fun personalities to attach to that like actually show themselves to the media and to the fan base is, that's part of why the NBA has been so successful in the last couple of decades. Is they've done a really good job of emphasizing and marketing the personalities of the league, which has never been a thing that NHL has done. It's a very traditional forward type of league, which doesn't really draw attention, and that's, if you're already a fan of hockey, maybe you like it because it's not guys saying controversial stuff all the time, and it makes the headlines more about the game and not what people are saying. But from the standpoint of the sport getting bigger and drawing kids and drawing better athletes to the sport and making the sport better that way, it would be better for the sport if there was more personality emphasized. If the league went out of the way to emphasize personalities and let them shine through a little bit more. It's kind of the same thing that same baseball issue that baseball has, where, I mean, baseball, it's starting to come around where you've got like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Vladdy Jr. Like there are some more outspoken type of guys and like some fun young guys coming up, and as long as they don't get shut down by the traditional unwritten rules MLB like old heads, then that'll be really good for baseball down the road, and that's what hockey needs. And honestly, like Trevor Zegras looks like he could be that. So as long as Zegras doesn't get shut down by the traditional old part, like the old traditional part of hockey, then yeah, Zegras can be a part of that change and make the league a little bit more fun going forward. Brad Marchand is good at showing personality. Yeah, like honestly, like Brad Marchand might be my least. I would say pretty safely, Brad Marchand is my least favorite player in the NHL, followed not far behind by Tom Wilson. But you can't make an argument that those two guys aren't good for the league. Obviously, both of them are great players, but even if it's a guy that is a heel and a hated player around the league, it's much better to have guys that are hated for what they say in the media and whatnot than it is to have guys that are not known for anything, just quiet, right? You'd rather have someone that says controversial stuff even if you don't necessarily like it than just be quiet. And when I mean controversial, I don't mean like political. I'm not talking about political controversy. I mean like guys like Marchand who will be a rat and like talk crap and then go do rat-like things on the ice and then back it up with their words later, like that kind of stuff, right? I love Zegras and his Michigans. Yeah, exactly. Like we got to have more of that kind of fun stuff like Zegras. And you got to have the heels too. You got to to really have intrigue, you got to have the guys everyone loves and the guys that everyone loves to hate, and that's, this game has kind of one of those. Like Matt Tkachuk, if you're not a Flames fan, is not a guy that a lot of people like because he's kind of one of those. I wouldn't say he's a rat, but he's definitely a more outspoken player and definitely a little bit more overly physical sometimes. Not afraid to back down, that's for sure. I think the Avalanche win the cup. I'd be okay with that. Considering the Kraken are no longer eligible to do so, and one team has to, Avalanche are absolutely the team I hope wins it. Shame he's on my least favorite team. I'm talking about Marchand. Yeah, that's part of why I don't like Marchand too, is I don't like the Bruins. But Bruins, Canucks, and Blackhawks I dislike. I'm still working on the Canucks. Like the Canucks still have such nice jerseys that it's hard to hate them. And they were my favorite team at one point in my life. It's been quite a while. It's been since the Sedins were in their prime, but I'm still working on hating the Canucks. We'll get there for sure. But here we go. Here's Beniers with the puck. Third period has started. Beniers first shift of the third. Good defense there by Tanev. Got the puck off of Beniers and out of the zone. And then Beniers' line will go off for a change after Beniers went to collect the puck and pass it off. Lind up to Gord. Gord into the offensive zone. Gord gets tripped up, and that will be Seattle to the power play, I would imagine. I say that with some confidence because it should be what's happening, but over the last few games, there's been some times where it's like, oh, Seattle's getting a power play, and then nope. Okay, yep. Calgary penalty for interference. Yep, so Seattle to the power play on the interference against Gord. All right, Kraken power play. Beniers is out there for the power play. Let's go. Oh, big save from Drieger. Oh, not a good start for this power play. Couple of saves from Drieger shorthanded. All right, let's make something happen here, boys. Boys. Oh, they just pass it up to open ice. What? Oh, the Seattle power play's over. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Didn't see it live, but yeah, that was a knucklehead play by Dunn there. He was trying to pass that off. I think he was trying to pass that off as he was trying to shield him, but he flung his arm up there knowing he was there. He was trying to get away with something, but that was not a smart play by Dunn. And now Gord's going to the box. We're tripping on Gaudreau. So what was a Kraken power play has now quickly turned into 4-on-3 power play for the Flames. Fantastic. Oh yeah, Gord. That's just unlucky. Gord, the blade of Gord's stick just went into right through the hole of the skate of Gaudreau. Yeah, that's just unlucky for Gord. Yeah, Dunn's was kind of stupid, and Gord's is just unlucky. Hey. Gaudreau to Tkachuk, 4-on-3. 4-on-3 is a better opportunity than a normal power play too, so this will be... The Flames are going to get some 5-on-3 time out of this as well. Assuming they don't score in the next 40 seconds. Oh! Someone, what? Tkachuk's just standing by the goal. Can't let that get to Tkachuk. Well, I don't know how that ended up in, but it ended up in. Second one for Tkachuk, this one on the power play. Yeah, I mean, it's a 4-on-3 is hard to stop, and it was going to end up 5-on-3 pretty soon anyway. So how does this end up? Tkachuk's just standing by the goal. I mean, you've got 3 guys, so one of them has to be open. Probably don't want to leave Tkachuk as the one that's open, but still. So how did this... Oh, okay, so Tkachuk's first shot just rebounded back out to him, and then he... I don't know why we're showing random Flames fans. Are those Tkachuk? I don't think that's... Oh, okay, that's Gaudreau's... Oh, because it's Gaudreau's 100th point of the season, so they're showing Gaudreau's family. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. And it's 100 points for Johnny Gaudreau. Kuhlman! Oh! Almost a shorthanded goal for Kuhlman there. He's partial breakaway. Save made, though. Another Kuhlman shorthanded chance. He had to shoot that one from farther out. And he was also quite tired. You could tell that was the end of a shift type of breakaway because Kuhlman did not have the speed that he had on the first one. And the Kraken will kill off the rest of that power play. So they give up a 4-on-3, which they were going to get like a minute of 5-on-3 anyway. So it's probably going in one way or another. Kraken's still up by 1. Tkachuk gets his second of the night. Johnny Gaudreau gets his 100th point of the season with the assist. Tanev out to Rask. Oh! Cale Fleury just missed the one-timer. Cale Fleury putting it in. Lind. Oh, he's trying to find Gord at the back door, but wasn't there. Gaudreau defended by 3 players. Still somehow gets past all of them, but not with the puck. Oh, how is that not tripping? Alexiak or Susie or whoever that was just took too long to go to the ice, but that should have been tripping. And they score again. Mangiapane ties it. Still 14 and a half minutes left. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the puck just somehow it bounced to right into the top of the crease and only Mangiapane was there, and yeah, there's not a lot Drieger can do about that. You can only block a human size amount of goal. A player like Mangiapane is gonna score there. Well, that sucks. That's Kraken hockey, baby. Oh, Gord almost put that in off of Vladar. I didn't even realize Vladar was in there now. I don't know when Markstrom went out. It must have been between periods. Maybe they said something about it and I missed it because I was talking to you fine people. But let me know if they said something about why Vladar's in there instead of Markstrom. Let me know. Maybe it was just the third goal they wanted to put Vladar in. I don't know. All right, so here's the Beniers line out there. See if they can keep it in. Nope, is the answer. Dubé tried to pass it out, but Beniers intercepted it up to Donato. Donato tried to get it out to either Beniers or Eberle. I don't really know which, but it was intercepted by Tkachuk. Alexiak whiffed on it, but it was a good thing, and now gets it out to Beniers. Chipped in, and they'll go off for a change. Uh, come on, guys. Kraken pressuring, but they're going to get it out. Nope. Come on. Oh, now the Flames have it. Now they'll break it out. Got a 3-on-2 here, but they missed the pass. All right, so Wimberg's got it. Coming breakout for the Kraken. Oh, Wimberg. He's got no one with him. Everyone else went for a change. All right, here's Shan coming in. And Shan's just standing on the puck. Oh, he's flinging it out to Susie. Oh, good shot, Susie. Shoot again. Oh. No, it's out of play. So we'll get a face-off in the Calgary end. Have I ever played NHL 2K5? Not that one specifically. It's actually been a while since I played one of the NHL games. Actually, maybe it was 2K5 that I played, honestly, last time. I think it might have been 2K5. It's been quite a while. At some point, I want to get the one from this year. Whatever. 2022. Just because it's the first one the Kraken are in. But, I don't know, at this point, I might as well just wait till next year's is out and then get it cheaper. But yeah. Yeah, I want to play it. The problem I have with the NHL games is that, like, honestly, at this point, I just don't play that much console games, just because it's not super convenient to. So I would kind of hope they would make it for PC. That being said, like, I don't know. If they made it for PC, I would get it, or like downloadable to PC, I would get it immediately. You just got NHL 22, so you could play as the Kraken. Yeah, see, that's why I would get it. I would get this year's just to play as the Kraken. I do wish they would start making those games downloadable to PC. Most points this season. Johnny Gaudreau's the 4th player to get to 100 points. Austin Matthews, who probably will end up getting the Hart, is not far behind. 99. So Matthews about to hit 100. Yeah, Gaudreau's going to get a big contract from somebody. Gaudreau and Forsberg are both still due contracts and both having incredible seasons. So, I mean, if either one of them makes it to free agency, Ron Francis has said they're going to be aggressive. So, like, assuming they're willing to sign with Seattle, then that could be a possibility. Seattle's got the space to give him a contract. It's been a really big scoring year, so it's a little dangerous to give out a giant contract to a guy on coming off a career season, but especially a career season where there was just scoring around the league was high. And out of play. Well, the Kraken have gotten a little bit better of the play since the Flames tied it, but it's, again, giving up a 2-goal lead in the third is not what you want. Let's see real quick where the what we're looking at around the league. Let's see. I'm about to start play again here. Let's see. Still tied at 0 in Dallas. Lightning Dallas. Golden Knights are down 2-3 to the Canucks midway through the second. Devils and Coyotes, so one of those teams has to win, which is good for the Kraken. Good that one of those teams has to win. Currently, the Devils up 2-1 midway through the second. Blues beat the Bruins. Sabres beat the Maple Leafs. That's at least the third time the Sabres have beaten Toronto this year. Panthers beat the Ducks. Canes beat the Rangers. Caps beat the Flyers 9-2. Yikes. Sens beat the Red Wings. Good for the Kraken because the Senators were starting to fall down to the Kraken level of standings. We don't want teams catching the Kraken in the race to the first pick or whatever, best odds. Islanders beat the Pens, but did it in shootouts. So that's not. I mean, the Islanders are pretty much out of the playoffs anyway, but definitely doesn't help their chances of making a miracle run. Wild beat the Oilers. Predators shut out the Sharks in OT. And Kings beat the Blackhawks. All right. I really wish the Kraken had a light blue jersey. We'll see what. So they're next season they're doing another run of the reverse retros, which Seattle actually has some hockey history, so they've got a couple of options they could go with. But we will get, even if it's not a true third jersey, we will get a new jersey next year for the Kraken, other than their home and away. So it'll be interesting to see what they go with. The NHL logos on Google are outdated. Not surprised. There's time. Yeah, we still got 10 halfway through the third, so there's still time left in this game to. I prefer it to go either way, really, but let's see how the possession and that stuff's going. Pretty even game. Yeah, I mean this has been a really good game. Unfortunately, it's now tied, but it's been a pretty well played game on both sides, and the Kraken were just finding the back of the net while the Flames weren't. Expected goals is in the Kraken favor. Here, let me show you here. So this is natural stat trick. So yeah, the Kraken got a bit of advantage here on the expected goals. But Corsi, so yeah, with the power plays, but if you do just even, yeah, it's a pretty back and forth game. I mean, this is the difference, right? The shot chart for the Flames is all right in the middle, and the Kraken one is not bad, right? But it's, it's not right by the net the entire time. So, I don't know. Let me, whoop. There we go. Get a little sneak peek at the stream stats there. I hope the Penguins use the Robo Penguin for theirs. Yeah, that'd be fun. Some Cole Lind jerseys. 4 of them. Did he play for... Who did he play? Why are there so many Cole Lind jerseys there? Cole Lind Kraken jerseys specifically. Lind with a goal and 5 assists this season. 6 points. He's had like that one goal seems really low with the chances he's had. Good save by Drieger there. Here we go. Chipped in, so no icing, but the Flames will get to it first. Kraken must have gone on a change. I'm not really sure what was going on there. All right, Cole, go get it, Cole in. Show all those fans of yours in Calgary why they bought your jersey. And all right, Lynn got it again. Come on, Gord. Come on, Gord. Borgen. Gord out front to... Oh. Oh, I think that was Larson that Gord was trying to get it to out front, but Larson just skated past it, and it went all the way back down to the Kraken end. Come on, Matty. Beniers out there. Beniers line out there. Beniers won a puck battle against Matthew Tkachuk along the boards. Whoa, sticked out by Drieger. Donato had it stolen from him. Oh, he stole it back. Eberle. Eberle backhanded. Oh, Donato couldn't get the rebound. Larson will just chuck it at the net. Beniers has it. Beniers to Larson. Larson, Albert Dunn. Oh. I don't know if that was a shot on goal or not, but... All right. Been out there. Beniers' line been out there for quite a while. Over a minute. There they go. Going off on a change. Hope the Jets use a Thrashers style jersey. That'd be kind of fun. Penguins using... Yeah, I think you said that earlier. The Penguins using the Robo Penguin. We definitely want that. I love the Robo Penguin. I don't hate their current logo. I like the one they've had forever. Robo is definitely my favorite one. And the Flames are getting another power play, because apparently they're going to get all the calls again. I mean, that's... Yeah, that is tripping, but like... That is tripping, but at the same time, like, there's been a couple of... At least one I can think of where there was a more obvious trip against a Kraken player and it didn't get called. So, like, officiating just completely inconsistent and the Kraken getting the worst end of it again. You don't think they have the rights to... Oh, the Thrashers? I think they would. I don't know why they wouldn't, but... Maybe they left that in Atlanta, but still. Good kill so far by the Kraken. And the Flames finally have control of the puck almost 30 seconds into their power play. Oh, rush. Chance for Tkachuk. Blocked by Larson. Now the Flames are set up. Gaudreau. Oh, Toffoli got a good look. Couldn't find the corner of the net, though.
That's exactly what you needed. Block shots. It's a good mentality to have. They move the puck very well. They have a lot of skill on this top unit. Larson reads the play, gets over. Able to go up and out of play. 1:14 left on the kill for Seattle. Ward will take the draw posed by Michael Backlund. Stone will trap it. Move it across. Collected by Noah Hannafin. Will hand off Dubé. Here's Backlund. Low to high. Stone. One-timer Hannafin. Scores! Noah Hannafin.
And this time I think it is Hannafin's goal. They score on the power play.
Second goal for Calgary's second unit in the last 3 games. They keep it simple. They just get the puck up top. They move it to one side. In the first game,
I mean, if the refs are just going to give them the power play for the entire third period, then yeah, it's going to happen. Like,
but they kept it simple. They just got the puck and they moved it directly towards the net.
So a gut check now for Dave Haxtell and his team. They found
well,
themselves in a hole by one. They had a 2-goal lead. Noah Hannafin having a sensational season. They were drafted by Ron Francis, 5th overall, 2015 draft, then in Carolina. It's the power play strike. Done. Everly. Let go by Beniers and played here by Ryan Donato.
that sucks.
Leads it there towards Zadorov.
Calgary has a clean goal horn. Yeah, it's all right.
Atop the Pacific Division out the center. A wedge in the zone by Mangiapane. Drieger. This way for Everly. Michael Stone, Michael Backlund.
Oh, go get it, Beniers.
At the helpers on
Oh, nice pass up to Donato. Oh, Donato tried to pass it out to Beniers. If that had gotten through, Beniers probably scores.
by Anderson. Everly sticks his nose in. Donato caught.
Oh,
First stoppage of play. 5:09 left in this third period. Power play dart by Calgary's 55. Noah Hannafin.
and Hannafin has just been a killer in these 2 games against the Flames. He's got 5 assists and a goal in 2 games. Yeah, unfortunately that was it's probably one you want Drieger to come up with, but I mean it's a power play. That was a good shot. Let me see. Drieger's let 4 of 29 in. Yeah, that's not very good.
Subway now has Italian-style capicolas on the new supreme meats and matzo meat, just like my nonna makes when she cooks.
I don't cook.
Wait, what?
It's a good thing he's so handsome.
Subway keep refreshing. Now
Ugh. Well, Beniers has looked good, so that we got that going for us. Beniers has definitely looked good this game. Well, there's still a few minutes for the Kraken to try to tie it up. Maybe get some exciting overtime. Maybe see Beniers out in 3-on-3. That'd be kind of fun. Time for Beniers to get a couple more shifts in. Maybe get the first goal of his career. Although I wouldn't hate seeing the first goal happen in Seattle against the Devils.
are on Root Sports Plus, starting with New Jersey at home on Saturday night. Kraken pregame presented by Coors Light at 6:30. So we have some housekeeping here. The ladder of success has been brought out here at the Saddle Dome. There it is. If you've ever seen a ladder of success, there it is. And this man is doing an excellent job escorting the ladder onto the ice. 5:09 left, regulation time.
Ladder of success is what he's calling it. Okay.
Repairs have been completed.
Is
There's a ladder.
fixing
That high drama moment is over. Went
fixing something along the board, so they had the ladder out on the ice, and it's just like
4-3
took him a while to get it off, so he's just dragging a ladder across the ice.
The Kraken have had one power play opportunity off the draw. Rasmus Anderson will get to it. He'll move it. Fielded by Tyler Toffoli. Zinged out to center ice. Here's Coleman. Soft shot. Scooped up by Drieger. No further play.
It'll be the 30th shot on goal for the Flames this game.
Seattle getting back into those. This one's gonna
Yeah, that took all the wind out of the sails.
that's how they were creating their offense in the first 2 periods. If they want in the last 5 minutes here to get back.
All right, got 5 minutes left. Let's make this push, huh?
Blizzard has canceled tomorrow's game in Winnipeg. It'll be
The Blizzard, yeah, they're talking canceled the game in Winnipeg tomorrow, or not canceled, but postponed. Postponed until May 1st.
The sun will come out in Winnipeg. We'll see. Now it's Foley through the middle. He'll clear it all the way around. 4:45 left. John, JT, Jen with you tonight. There's the Saddle Dome.
All right, puck's back down in the Calgary end. We got this. 5 minutes left. Let's go.
Crunched a bit by Wenberg.
What player is 24 on the Kraken? It's Jamie Alexiak. Big rig.
Down the center, Dubé. Lead pass for Matthew Tkachuk, who has 2 goals tonight. Dylan Dubé. Picked off by Seattle's Yanni Gourde.
Yeah, he had a really good first half of the season. I feel like he's kind of had a tougher second half of the season, but he'll be with the Kraken for a couple of years. He signed a contract for what, 5 years with them, 4 years maybe.
At the line, brought in by Dubé. The roadblock. Gale Fleury.
But he lays some big hits, always fun to watch.
Now back out through center ice. Noah Hannafin. Right now owns the difference-making goal on a power play.
And I'll have to decide. So obviously, like I said, the Kraken are going to have a third jersey next year. Not like a truther, but they'll have a reverse retro next year, which I'll end up getting. So then the question is, do I get Gourde or Beniers for my reverse retro jersey? Oh, look, they do call penalties against the Flames. Huh. How about it? Had to be a pretty obvious one, trip on Beniers, but... So Beniers draws his first penalty in the NHL. Oh, stop complaining. Go to the box.
Here we have a look here. Beniers is backtracking and gets the puck. And there's the hit right
Oh, yeah, that's a...
there. Say knee. Could have been trip, could have been knee. I didn't really see the knee stick out, but those quick moments like that. Take the hit.
Come on, going after the legs of the guy playing his first NHL game.
Second one tonight for
Screw you, Mangiapane.
this one of tremendous consequence. With 3:38 on the clock.
All right, well, if the power play was ever going to do anything for the Kraken, this would be the time.
Vince Dunn with the puck. Everly out in front.
Beniers out there for the power play again. Let's see if they can actually... Beniers shoots! Oh! Vladar couldn't make the... He saved it, but he couldn't control the rebound. So Beniers got a good shot off there.
Start a power play breakout for Seattle, pestered by Coleman. Here's Wenberg.
All right, Wenberg breaking it out.
He'll gain entry.
Wenberg in, out for Beniers.
He'll take it in. Lay it back for Dunn.
Beniers... Oh,
For McCann.
almost missed the...
Tiger stop.
Oh, dang it.
Beniers will hunt it down. Elevate the puck. Deep in the zone.
Beniers keeps it in, so that's good.
Reversed by Lewis for Tanev. Zadorov right up the gut.
And out. All right, still got a minute left. They'll probably go change now, so that'll do it for Beniers on the power play. At least so far.
This is Carson Soucy.
But he got his shot off, so that's good.
On the way out by the common.
Shot off. Vladar couldn't quite handle it, but the puck wouldn't bounce in Seattle's favor. Beniers could have had a second assist there.
Waiting is Geeky.
Or I guess depending on who puts it in, even a goal.
Soucy around the clock. Rask. He'll delay. Taken in away from Anderson. Lay it back for
Out Soucy. Soucy to Rask. Rask. Oh, tried to get it to Gourde. Gourde to Soucy. Rask. Shoots. Blocked. Gourde. Back up to... Nope, missed.
moves it by Soucy. 25 seconds left in this power play. Under 2
All right, here we go. One more push. One more push on the power play.
back for Gourde. Johnny Gourde through the middle of the ice. Drops it off for
Gourde dropped to Rask. Rask is going to put it in offside.
gets to it though. Christopher Tanev.
That'll do it for the power play.
That'll do it.
All right, minute and a half left. Full, even strength. Even, whatever, full strength. 5-on-5. That'll be a high stick. Go to a face-off. Not a like penalty high stick, but we'll go to a face-off.
Seattle's best chance on the power play came from Beniers. He gets set up on his one-timer side. He lets it rip. You have a good screen in front by Wenberg. The scramble ensues. Vladar and
Yeah, Wenberg had a good screen there. Let's see where the shot goes.
here's another look right there.
Oh, yeah, so Wenberg jumped it, but it went right off the logo of Vladar. Bounced out in front, but just couldn't find a Kraken stick to go in.
7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar. 7 saves in this third period for the new goaltender, Dan Vladar
Yeah, so if the Kraken can get the puck here, Drieger will probably come out.
Kraken get it out, and there goes the goaltender.
And there goes Drieger.
McCann sends it in. 6 skaters out for Dave Haxtell. Wenberg on the wall.
6 out.
Forced by Everly, doesn't work. Floated out by Blake.
Flames. All right, so the Kraken have control of it with 6 out on the ice. 6-on-5 chance for the next minute.
He'll crank it up.
Beniers looks like he's the 6th man out. Oh, no, he just got that whole line out there. Okay.
All the way around. Everly now. Broken up by Hannah.
Beniers is getting a lot of ice time. I don't know what it's at, but...
Elevates the puck off the backside of Dunn. He recovers.
Oh!
Beniers will get to it. He's hooked a bit. Gaudreau's got it. Here's Kachuk with a hat trick. He gets it.
And Kachuk finishes the hat trick. Empty net for Kachuk.
Second career hat trick for Matthew Kachuk. His last one was on March the 10th, 2019 against Vegas. He'll put it away here for Calgary.
That'll do it.
Looking for him. He tried to fly the zone the first attempt when they high flipped it. The second one, as soon as Gaudreau got the puck in the neutral zone, he looked directly for Kachuk, trying to find him that hat trick.
And Gaudreau will get his 101st point.
A little bit on the hands there with Beniers trying to enter the zone
Yeah, and Beniers did get hooked, but you know that. I mean,
to send it to him to try to get that hat trick.
Beniers got hooked, and that's why the puck's turned over. But the officials aren't going to call penalties against the Flames, so it's, you know.
3 goals tonight. Goals 35, 36, and 37.
Night, Pablo.
So the Kraken down by 2 with 42 and a fraction left here at the Saddle Dome. Had a 3-1 lead. Goaltending change. The Flames went to work, and they are on the brink of a 5-game winning streak now.
I mean, if the officiating was at least consistent, I wouldn't care, but it just isn't. Like,
Dansky waiting and throwing one more out there.
the penalty on Donskoy to give the Flames the power play that gave them the 4-3 lead was like, by the rules, it was the right call. So like, I'm not gonna say it was the wrong call, but the problem is there was a trip before that on somebody behind the Kraken net, and then there was another one, like, and then just there, like, Beniers gets hooked, which again, both of those were just as bad, if not, or yeah, just as bad, if not worse, and didn't get called for Seattle. So it's just like inconsistent officiating, and once again going not the Kraken way. And not that the Flames aren't the better team, but like, the Kraken played a really good game and just kind of got put on the back foot by officiating here in the third. But like four penalties against three penalties. And they got 10 seconds left. Good season for first year. Well, Flames win 5-3.
A lot of good things for Seattle in the first 40 minutes. Third period, obviously things fell apart for them. A lot of good things you can pick up. The game that he had in game one, there's positive things to take from this game. But again, you're going to
Well,
want to get the third period.
you know, the story of the game is Beniers. Obviously, he had Beniers had a good game for his first game. He got his first point in the NHL. Got an assist on the first Kraken goal that opened the scoring in the game. So that's fun, and he looked good throughout the game. He had a couple of, you know, he did have one giveaway, and I mean, technically speaking, I guess that fifth goal, the empty netter there, is a giveaway from Beniers as well, but he gets hooked. So what are you gonna do? Like, you know, there's a reason that hooking's not supposed to be allowed, but you know, it doesn't get called and ends up in the empty net. But Beniers looked good. Definitely didn't look lost. Looks like an NHLer out there. So good start. Good first game. Created a number of chances. Obviously, the no-look pass to Donato was an absolute beauty. Got a couple looks on the power play. First Kraken power play was ended before it started because of a penalty they called against Seattle, and then he got a good shot on the good one-timer on the second power play for the Kraken. Yeah, no look pass there. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. That's another point towards Shane Wright. Yeah, so I mean, frustrating way to lose for sure, and would have liked to win the first game for Beniers, but Beniers looked good, and the Kraken keep their place in those first pick odds race. I think they're still third to last, and let's see how the Coyotes doing. Coyotes are down 4-2 at the end of 2, so they're probably not coming back to win that. So let's see. Let's look at the standings here now. I'll throw this up here. So here are the standings. Obviously, we're looking down at the bottom here. Kraken got 52 points. Montreal 51. Arizona 49. Montreal didn't play tonight. Arizona looks like they're gonna lose. But if Arizona does lose and the Devils win, then the Kraken are 6 points behind the Devils. So that's probably pretty safe. So then you're looking at you're in that top 3. You're in the top 3 odds there for that first pick. So yeah. Matty got a point in his first game, absolutely. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think the officiating is trying to favor the contenders? I don't really think so. I mean, NHL officiating has just been inconsistent across the board most of the season. So I think for now, I'm just choosing to believe that like these last few games, it's just the Kraken have just come up unlucky. Like there's gotten unlucky that they're the ones on the butt end of the officiating for these last few games. But it is frustrating, even if losing is, better in the long run right now. It's still frustrating to lose like that with just, and like every game, they're going to let things go every game, especially the closer it gets to the playoffs where officiating completely changes in the playoffs because the officials would rather just be spectators than actually call the games. They're trying to, they do call less towards the end of the season, I guess, but again, there was a couple of the penalties that the Kraken took in that game that, again, technically the right call, but that's not how things were being called the other way. So it's, either call the penalties or don't. Like, don't call them for one team and then not have the same standards the other way. It's kind of all you want, which didn't happen in this game. Refs are also helping Vancouver, too. Yeah, I mean, if officiating there's a problem with officiating in the NHL right now, and it's just, I don't think that there's no like favoring team. Like, I don't think refs go in saying like thinking they're going to favor one team or the other, or like consciously favor one team or another. It's just officiating is inconsistent. So, every now and then there's going to be a fair number of games where the officiating is inconsistent. That's going to favor one team or the other more likely than not. And, it sucks when it's your team, right? I hate refs who dictate games. Yeah, I mean, it's not every game for sure. It's definitely not every game. Like it's not that much worse than baseball where umps can definitely decide games with terrible strike zones. The Mariners have already seen that a couple of times this season. Happens in football. Like there's missed calls in football all the time, and I mean there's calls that are made where there absolutely wasn't a penalty. So it's just part of sports. Like officiating is, pro sports are fast, and officiating they're doing their, well, you'd like to think they're doing their best, but it has been a rough stretch for the Kraken of just kind of getting the rough end of bad luck officiating, and yeah, feels bad. I feel so conflicted about Adam Larson. He's so unlucky, but he has really good moments. Yeah, he's had a pretty unlucky season, and like advanced stats really don't like him. Although to be fair, Larson has never been an offensive defenseman in any meaning of the word. He is a defensive defenseman through and through, and advanced stats tend to not like that very much. But hey, he got a goal in this one, 7th goal of the season. And yeah, Larson. Kachuk was trying to pass it over. It goes off of Larson's stick back to Kachuk, and then Kachuk beats Drieger because he was looking for the pass. So that was Larson getting unlucky. A wackadoo. Yeah, frustrating loss, but long term it's the best thing for the Kraken, I guess. Ugh. Biggest thing for this game, though, again, it's the biggest thing for this game is definitely the first game for Matty Beniers. And he got the point on the assist. Donato had a pretty good game. Beniers and Donato definitely had some. You could tell there was chemistry between the two of them. I don't remember if they played together before, or if it's just that they like they've done workouts together, like from the same area. So they've done like off-season workout stuff. So they've been on the ice together before and have some familiarity. So you could definitely tell there was some chemistry there. And Beniers they were passing it back and forth. Donato might have on a couple of occasions tried a little bit too hard to like force passes to Beniers for chances to get his first goal. But why not, right? There's not really anything else, no reason not to try and get the new guy his first goal at this point in the season. I'd feel better if the officiating was just consistent. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I feel about it too. It's just not consistent. I mean and that's not unique to Kraken games. I guess that's like maybe the one upside of officiating in the playoffs is because they cut down on like the calls they make so heavily that it's harder for the inconsistency to show as much in the playoffs because they don't call as much. It's still inconsistent. They just aren't, they just stop calling things. So 9 games left for the Kraken. They won't play tomorrow, so no more back-to-back. The Jets game got moved to May 1st because of a blizzard.
Well, here in Calgary, the headline is always the final score. Unfortunately, tonight against the Kraken, big comeback by Calgary. But Matty Beniers' NHL debut was very good.
Yeah, I thought he looked really good. He didn't look out of place. He was making good plays. And then you look at the power play. He had a good opportunity to set up a goal.
Oh, wow, you weren't lying. You do have a Kraken away jersey. I think it's one of the best away jerseys in the NHL. I agree. Like it's a nice jersey. As you can kind of see the logo definitely stands out more on the white. I still like the logo. I have the home one here. Like I don't know, like I like the logo definitely stands out more on the away. I think I still like the logo better on the home, but the sleeves on the away, like I just like how the sleeve goes from the lightest blue to the darkest blue as it goes. Like it was like white to dark blue along the sleeve, which like obviously you're not really going to get as much with the home. So yeah, I really like the away jersey. Personally, I still probably prefer the home, but they're both very, very nice. And I do think it's one of the I definitely prefer home jerseys. I definitely prefer home jerseys over away jerseys, generally speaking. So I think this is. I wouldn't disagree that it's one of the nicer away jerseys in the NHL. Absolutely, Mary. Thanks for joining, leaving comments, all that. Don't forget to do my my good YouTuber thing. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're stopping by. Help out the channel a little bit. Obviously, like we'll probably stick this out. We'll keep going for another 10 minutes. Get this to 9 o'clock, and then we'll call it good. But people got any more questions or comments about the game? We'll keep this going for another 10 minutes. Obviously, again, the Kraken will have now 3 days off with the Winnipeg game being postponed to May 1st. And then at home against the Devils. At home against the Devils and Beniers' first home game. Oh, so here we go. Owen Power played his first game for the Sabres tonight. So Owen Power got a +2, but no point. Canucks are now up 4-2 on the Wild, or 4-2 on the Golden Knights in the third. And with the Kings winning, yeah, that's not, if you're a Golden Knights fan, that's not a good combo of scores there with the Kings winning and the Golden Knights losing. Or behind. They can still come back, but had fun. Thanks. Appreciate it, Riley. Thanks for stopping by. The NHL season would have been done already, but because of COVID and postponed games, NBA season does start a little bit before. Like they basically run the same length, but the NBA like starts a couple of weeks earlier, and then goes to their playoffs a couple of weeks earlier. Which, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they basically compete the whole season and all that, but I think that probably works out well for the NHL because then they're only competing with baseball when the Stanley Cup Finals are happening. Saw Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2 on Saturday. Better than the first movie. Glad to see Sonic again. I liked the first movie, so if you thought it was better than the first one, then yeah, I'll watch it. But yeah, good to see Beniers get that first point, for sure. For sure. Maybe he'll get his first goal in Seattle. I mean, hey, the Kraken have their next 2 games are the Devils and the Sens. So that's if he plays the way he did tonight, I think he'll probably get a goal in one of those 2 games for sure. We got a couple very score onable opponents here in the next couple of games. Yeah, 5-3 win by the Flames. Not, I mean, I guess from the standpoint of what's better for the future. It's the better outcome for the Kraken. It's just frustrating, especially frustrating how it happens, having a 3-1 lead going into the third. Drieger had a bit of a rough third period, I would say. He just didn't really come up with the big saves that they needed there to finish that one out. Of course, the refs didn't help either, just sending the Flames to power play after power play. And not that none of them were bad. Like, yeah. One more time, it's like none of the calls against the Kraken that sent Seattle to the box, like none of the players that went to the box for the Kraken went there unwarranted. Like they were all fine calls. It was just that the Kraken weren't getting those same calls on similar plays, or even like more obvious ones. Who is it that I have the away jersey? It's Jamie Alexiak, 24, the big rig. I bet you paid a lot of money for it since got a name and number, also inaugural patch. Yeah, I got, what was it? I got like 30% off on it. I got it. So they did the like fan game or whatever when it was the one against Nashville a while back. Is the like fan night where they did 32% off everything in the team store. So I got it for 32% off. So it was, still not cheap, but yeah, I was gonna get one anyway, and then that seemed like the night to do it because I was at that game. So I was like, oh, I might as well. I'm at the game, and that the team store at the game is doing 32% off. Yeah, I might as well jump on it, right? Do you think the next season will be better for the Kraken? Like they have fight to them, but they've been so unlucky through the season, and also games have gotten away from them. Yeah, though I don't think. Things can't be worse for them next year than they have been this year. This year has been. For one, they're an expansion team, so they're. It was very, very optimistic. Sorry, Beniers. It was very, very optimistic to think they would be anywhere near as good as Calgary, or not Calgary, as Vegas in their first year. I thought they were still like the roster was good enough to compete for the playoffs, especially in the Pacific, and I still feel like it's a roster that can compete with like the Kings, for example, who are, currently in the playoffs. Or I should say not the current roster, but the roster coming into the season. But they got unlucky with goaltending not really working out. Defense just took a long time to get itself figured out. Special teams have always been an issue. And then on top of that, you've got, pretty much all those, like the goaltending, the defense, and the special teams, all of that, the root of that is that it took them a long time to really gel as a team and like come together in a way that they were working well together. And the passing was early in the season. The passing was almost rare that a pass went tape to tape. Like it was uncommon that a pass went tape to tape from the Kraken. It was obvious that it was just like a bunch of new guys playing together for the first time ever. And a lot of that is because of COVID early on in the season. They had 5 guys, I think it was, go into COVID protocol during the preseason. So, and they didn't have very much practice time before the preseason because of COVID and travel restrictions. So you have travel restrictions making it hard to practice early on in the season. And then guys going into protocol, making it hard to even play together in the preseason. So you're coming into the start of the season where they have 6 road games right away, like a 6-game road trip right away, which, could help a team come together being on the road, but it's tough to have that long of a road trip, and they're learning to play together in the regular season. So that really did cause a lot of the issues, I think, early on in the season, especially defensively, and made it really hard for either Grubauer or Drieger to feel comfortable behind the defense and have any idea of what the defense was doing in front of them, which is an important part of the goaltending, to understand the defense in front of you so you can know where chances are going to come from and when to be expecting shots on goal and where those could come from. So, oh, lucky you got that 32% off. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helped. Wow, Tampa Bay and Dallas are still 0-0 in the third. There was one of the other games went 0-0 through the third. Was one in OT. I can't remember which game. I guess I could go look it up. Oh, I think it was like San Jose. Yeah, Nashville beat San Jose 1-0 in OT. So that'd be 2 games that went to OT today, 0-0. So yeah, I don't think things can go much worse for the Kraken next year than they did this year. Knock on wood, right? But COVID won't be a problem next season. Knock on wood. Injuries, definitely. The Kraken had bad luck with injuries. That's going to happen. It's the NHL. Every team deals with injuries. It's just some teams deal with them more than others from one season to another. Obviously, Vegas has been on the rough end of injuries all season long. Who was it? The Ducks, I think it was, just set a record for number of games missed by players due to injury. That was never a team that was... I guess they had a good run for a large portion of the season, so you could say that got derailed because of injuries. They weren't supposed to be a good team, but they were hot early on in the season, and they've just, again, plagued by injuries. But there's, season to season, like the Flames have... If you look at the current Ironman streak leaders in the NHL, players that have played the most consecutive games, the Flames have like 5 of the top 10, something ridiculous like that. So like You know, the Flames have gotten very lucky with injuries over the last 2 seasons, but that's just the kind of thing. It even happens. You know, it's just another unlucky thing that went against the Kraken this year, and could go worse. I would say the injuries could go worse, but not a lot. The Kraken didn't necessarily have like the biggest number of injuries, but the injuries they did have were almost always to leading contributor type of players. They lost Jaden Schwartz twice to injuries. The first time he was the leading points getter on the team when he went out in January. They lost Eberle to injury for a while when he was the leading points getter on the Kraken. They lost McCann to injury when he was leading in points and goals, which he still is leading in both. So yeah, it's well, and for Drieger, like Drieger was out for injuries twice, I want to say, and COVID once. So I mean, Drieger, even outside of being the 1B, was never like Drieger being injured and out with COVID that frequently meant that Grubauer pretty much had to become the starter, and just he was thrown to the wolves. Like he had a tough start to the season, but the Kraken didn't really have any other choice because Drieger was on and off being injured. So they were like, you know, they don't want to lean that heavily on Joey Decord, so it's just kind of like Grubauer had to figure out what was going on with his issues, doing it like basically just had to do it live, right? He just had to go into games and figure it out. As someone new to hockey, this channel has been great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tanev, yeah, Tanev. Oh, good point. Yeah, injuries. Tanev losing the like. You know, I feel like Tanev was probably like a 30-point player this season, the way he was playing. You know, he wasn't going to lead the team in points or anything like that, but the energy he brought to the team, it was obvious immediately when he went down with injury that the energy on the bench went down. It was immediately obvious. And it really hasn't picked up that much ever since. Blackwell brought it back a little bit in February before he got traded. But again, he got traded, so like, you know, that again kind of disappeared. And even on top of that, you know, Tanev was a fan favorite, so even if being a fan favorite might not do much for the on-ice performance of the team, it still does affect that first season. So yeah, couldn't have gotten much more unlucky with who the injuries they had happened to. Look at my team. Look at my team in the New York metro area. Devils' young team dealt with a lot of injuries. Yeah, the Devils dealt with a lot of injuries this year as well. With this whole season, Islanders hardly ever, never. Oh, beating up teams the whole season. Rangers have been healthy this season. Yeah, Rangers have been fairly healthy. I can't say I've followed the Islanders too closely this year, but I don't remember them getting too badly injured. They just had the issue of, I mean, I'm sure they've had their injuries, but like their biggest thing is they just got off to that awful start, which a lot of it was because a lot of that was just because they played the first entire month on the road, right? So he played the entire first month on the road and they couldn't get anything going. And it took them until the halfway point of the season to get anything going. But with how top heavy the East has been, it was just, you know, they weren't going to be able to catch up in the East with how top heavy it is, even though they've had a pretty decent back half of the season.
Emotions ran high, both with the refs and us, and unfortunately, they had a very big impact on the game. But it is what it is. I think.
Donato just pointing out that the refs had a big impact on the game. So it's not just me. Even though, like, obviously, like, players think about that too. But if they feel it enough to say it in a post-game interview, you know it's obvious when a player is, like, actually says something about it in a post-game interview. I don't know if he'll get fined for that. He could get fined. Make a little slap on the wrist. A little slap on the wrist fine for saying that the refs had an impact.
Tough final 20 minutes for the Kraken in this game tonight, and playing with his buddy Matty Beniers. And all fans, I think, will remember, yeah, they lost, but Matty Beniers made his NHL debut tonight. And as we get back to Ross and the guys, he really showed that he belonged.
All right. Well, I think we'll start to wind this one down a little bit. So we'll do a last call for questions here. Yeah, do a last call for questions, and we'll close it off for this stream. We'll definitely do at least one more by the end of the season. Right now I'm thinking maybe we'll do the last game of the season, with it now being the Winnipeg game that was supposed to happen tomorrow. With that now being the last game of the season on May 1st, thinking we might do that one. But we'll do at least one more of these streams by the end of the season, and yeah. Yeah, Islanders played 13 straight on the road because of UBS wasn't finished. And COVID, yeah, they had a lot of issues with COVID. That's true. They haven't had that many injuries, but yeah, COVID, they did have a pretty bad run with COVID. That was true. And they do need to get younger. Well, it also didn't help the Islanders that they just let the Kraken have their top scoring winger from last season, and that's not a team that scores goals very easily. All right. Well, yeah, I think with that we'll start to wrap things up here. Again, Kraken lose 5-3 to the Calgary Flames, but Matty Beniers plays his first game for the Kraken and gets an assist in the first period on the first goal of the game. Assisted on the Ryan Donato goal, so even Hackstall now doing his interview says unfortunate penalty, which, that's not necessarily saying it was a bad call. It was an unfortunate time to take a penalty, even if it was the right call. But usually when they say something like that, there's a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but Devils have been rebuilding team for years, but like ownership don't care about winning at all. Has been a bottom every season. Yeah, I feel like the Devils are getting close to that turnaround. I think they wanted to commit to this year being the first year to compete, which is a little bit too optimistic. But yeah, I think the future is certainly brighter for the Devils than the last few years have been, and I think they'll be competing here in maybe give it like 3 years. 2 years, maybe 3 years. I think the Devils are getting there. The problem the Devils have, as opposed to like an Anaheim or an LA in the West, is how top heavy the East is right now, with like the Tampa Bay's, Florida's. I mean, the teams that are in the playoffs this year, right? There's even if they are a competitive team, getting above those teams while like Crosby and Ovechkin are still producing and that kind of stuff, like, and Matthews obviously, like Matthews and the Leafs aren't really going anywhere anytime soon. And who knows with Tampa Bay, like they're run well enough where they might not be going anywhere. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Good look for Matty, but bro, what the fuck with... Sorry. Bro, WTF refs. Yeah, it was not I wouldn't say a bad game. It was just a bad third period. The officiating in the third period was awful. So, yeah. You're not wrong. Good first game for Beniers, and terrible officiated third period. Just terribly inconsistent. Hopefully Haxel doesn't ruin him. I don't think he will. I don't know.
I'm most impressed with his poise in all senses, not just on the ice.
Haxel seems to like him, and if Haxel likes a young player, I mean that's why he was picked as the coach. Is he is good at developing players when he likes them. Obviously, like Shane Gostisbehere is kind of like in Philadelphia. There was a couple of the young players. Gostisbehere was one of them, where it was just like he didn't like them. He just Haxel didn't. There was a couple of the young players that Haxel just didn't like, so he didn't help them develop. Which at least that's the reputation that came out of it. So yeah. So far, it seems like he's only had good things to say about Beniers so far, and Beniers is definitely a work ethic type of player. So I feel like he'll like Beniers, and however long Haxtell sticks around for, I think, Haxtell does have a reputation, and he had a lot of success in college, which is where Beniers is coming from. So I think Beniers and Haxtell would Hacksaw probably is, will help Beniers even if he isn't maybe the best NHL level coach. He can at least help Beniers develop a bit. If Hacksaw squanders Beniers, it's at least an easy firing. If he screws up Beniers, then he's probably screwed up enough other things. Or if he's screwing up Beniers, probably enough other things will be going on wrong around it that he'll end up getting fired before he ruins Beniers outright. So I think it'll be fine. I don't think there's any reason to worry. All right, I think we'll call it there. So again, thank you very much for everyone who joined, hung out for this one. Obviously not the scoreboard outcome we would have liked, but fun to see Matty Beniers play his first game for the Kraken. Got that first NHL point. He's a point per game player so far for the Kraken, so in his NHL career. So there you go. Yeah, with that, again, thank you very much, and see you in the R&R. Oh, don't forget, go Kraken.